On tonight's very special episode of the Gamecasters, we have our first ever crossover show. We chat with our special guests all episode and subject them to the nonsense you're used to hearing from us on a regular basis. Stay tuned. Gamers, and welcome back to the show that, when taken regularly, has proven to reduce your sex drive, giving you more time to focus on us, you filthy perverts. We have an incredibly special show lined up for you today, our very first crossover show. Some time ago, we shot through the stratosphere with our now legendary interview of the incredibly famous Ben and Emily of Date Night Dice. Well, now they've decided to infiltrate an entire episode, and as much as I sprayed, it didn't seem to work, because here they are anyway. Just kidding, of course. I know what you're actually thinking. How much money did we have to pay to secure them for this episode? The answer is the incredibly vague $6,800 flat fee for the first hour and $500 per minute afterward. The GoFundMe stopped just shy of the $10 mark, so I'll just pay the rest to you guys over the next 30 years like a mortgage, if that's okay with you. Welcome, Ben and Emily. How the heck are you guys?
Hello.
We are doing fantastic. Thanks for having us on the show.
I love to hear that. That sounds great. We are very excited to have you. For those of you listening, Ben and Em are going to partake in every aspect of the show today, from feeling awkward and embarrassed at my ramblings right into their thoughts on the beatdown. We have a special...
We got that covered already.
Yeah.
Jeff and I, every intro, we're just like, do we like laugh or like...
You could just like hold your breath and plug your ears and it'll be over soon. We have a special Gamecasters versus Date Night Dice game we're going to play. And then we will all give our thoughts on the top 5 of the episode. So buckle in, strap on your helmet, prepare yourselves for a nice leisurely flight as we circle the Concorde for a while. So Jeff, what's up, man?
Hey.
You got anything for us? What's the deal with airline food? Something like that?
Well, we were just talking about it. It's so hot.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't do anything.
The Hansel is so hot.
So I've been... So we've been inside watching TV. We finally finished 30 Rock. I know we talked about... I don't know if you guys watched that, but it's one of my...
I've never watched 30 Rock.
Oh, it's really funny.
It's one of my favorites, and Devin finally finished it, and it's up there in her. She said it was...
What did she think?
She thought it was amazing.
Really?
She's like, we could watch it again, and she's never a watch it again kind of person, so for her to want to say, let's watch it again is...
That's a show that you can... Like, it doesn't go bad. There's a lot of shows that, even like our favorite show, like The Office, where after like season 6 or so, it just starts to kind of decline a little bit. You know what I mean? 30 Rock, I feel like just like powers through.
It's so funny. From beginning to end, I think it's really funny. So
you're recommending it to us. We should
absolutely.
Watch 30 Rock?
Yes. Nice. Unless it's bad, then I didn't recommend it at all.
Do you guys like sitcoms like The Office and Parks and Rec and stuff like that?
We've kind of, over the last few years, been making our way through older sitcoms. So, like, we watched Frasier.
That's a good show.
And
I loved Frasier.
We started Seinfeld again.
Yep.
Best show of all time. Best show of all time.
Classic.
Best show of all time.
Yeah.
But we could probably, the fact that we've never seen 30 Rock sounds like we should probably check that one out, too.
Yeah.
I haven't actually watched The Office in a long time. Like, I used to remember watching... I had, like, DVDs of it.
That's the last time.
Yep.
No, we tried to kind of rewatch it when we were wrapping presents for Christmas, and it was, like, uncomfortable. Like, I've outgrown that stage or something, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this anymore.
Oh, it's too cringy? A lot of people say that.
It was so funny the first time, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. So.
Yeah, my brother-in-law was just saying that there's like certain episodes of The Office he can't watch because it's too cringy for him.
Yeah.
I understand that. 30 Rock is not like that, luckily. It's just really clever. It's like really cleverly written.
Yeah, because really Tina Fey and Lorne Michaels did it, so it's like, yeah, the writing is amazing.
And I think like Alec Baldwin won the Emmy for the best actor like 5 years in a row.
Really?
Yeah,
he's great
for that show. It's really good. It's really good. It's a good show.
That's cool.
That Parks and Rec, that's good stuff.
I started watching Homeland by myself.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it is good.
Especially season 1 and 2 of Homeland is really good.
Yeah, I'm like towards the end of season 2 already. And I think I just started it after our last podcast.
Yeah. Oh, you're just like cruising through it. What's Ryan doing
she's
in the meantime?
Watching
chess?
Yeah.
Yes. He literally watches chess videos, like, what is it? Hakamura?
Yeah, Hakamura. No, Hikaru Nakamura.
So there's like little chess talking in the background while I'm watching Homeland.
Yeah, but I'm always watching the videos first, and then she comes in, can I watch Homeland? And then all of a sudden the volume's like, boop, 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 boop.
What do you listen to
then I
while
feel
chess is happening?
Well, okay. No, so like he'll teach people, like he'll talk. So he'll talk to them as he's teaching them, and then I listen to and I
This
learn
is
stuff. And then
Nakamura?
Or
Yeah,
people
Hikaru
just like,
Nakamura.
or people watch games and then comment, like it's commentary on like games by like famous
like,
people, like Magnus Carlsen.
Magnus Carlsen wins the Magnus Carlsen chess championship.
Good for him.
So what are you guys drinking over there?
I don't even know what kind it is. It's white wine. I just needed wine.
That's the best kind.
Are you an ice cube person or no ice cubes? What do you got in there?
No ice cubes. I got the
All right.
bottle here just
Dark
in
Horse.
case.
Wow.
That's a good brand.
Well, like you were saying, it's been so hot. You have to find ways to like cool stuff down abnormally, more than normal.
Drinking a bottle of wine per
Yeah.
episode is the way to do it.
Oh, speaking of it being hot, we went kayaking yesterday on like a river for like 2.5 hours with our friends. And Ryan has some pretty bad.
Oh, my sunburns.
Yeah, there's not enough sunscreen in the world for me to go out there that long.
He sprayed his legs, but missed some spots, and he's got like red stripes on his legs.
Oh,
Yeah, I look
no.
like I like spray like painted myself in war paint.
Yeah, I told him he looks like
it's
he's
not
a
good.
burn
I don't know if you
victim.
guys can see it. It's not good.
I won't show you.
And
You'll
the
get
tops of his
Spray it
knees.
and then you rub it in.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rub in is what I, for some
You
reason I
gotta rub
forgot
it
to rub
in,
in.
man.
And Ben, you told me about this Forerunner, the Garmin watch to get.
Oh, do you got a nice watch?
Yeah, dude.
suntan
For
now?
some reason, I was like, I am
didn't
not
spray
gonna.
his arm
I didn't
because
spray
his
that
watch was
hand
on.
because you can't see this probably, but you probably I don't think you
kinda
can see
little.
that. But it's
It's just a red
is
hand
so
and a red
burnt.
arm and a white wrist.
because I didn't spray the hand because I spent $300 on the watch. It was that kind of thing, and so I didn't want to.
You could have just taken it
Care
off.
about melanoma.
but-
$300.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Too lazy to take it off for 2 seconds. I'd rather risk.
I don't know. It was still fun. We went kayaking and it was pretty cool.
It was cool. And
Good
I went
stuff.
golfing on Friday in this heat like a crazy person.
Yeah. I don't even want to go outside.
No, it's the worst. I barely want to be
really
inside.
tan though, so I'm cool.
Yeah,
I
I
like
believe
that
you,
part
you
of
look
it.
tanner.
Danny Tanner. She's doing good. So you guys, I had a bit of a scare with an email scam that came to my work. And I needed to share this with you.
Okay.
It's all right. So, all right. The email is from a guy named Conrad.
He sounds shady.
All right. With a K or a C?
A C. A C.
Okay.
Yep. So, all right. Let me set the table a little bit
Like
before
a
this.
con
So I come
artist?
downstairs. So Natalie and I are working remotely right now, and potentially indefinitely. I don't know if we told you that.
Oh,
but yeah,
okay.
This might happen indefinitely, which is cool. And so my workstation is in the basement, basically here, just kind of over that way. And so it's like the greatest thing in the world. So I come downstairs and I'm like super happy to work. I'm like whistling and like, yeah, everything's great. And I open my email. I'm like, oh, I got some emails because I'm important. This is awesome.
It's like Monday morning.
Yeah, it's like Monday morning. I'm feeling good.
I'm important.
And I'm like, oh, Conrad, who's this? Double click. And it says, okay, the subject of the email says time is ticking. I'm like, that's ominous. Let's see what this says.
Yes, it
Here's
is.
what it says. Hi, I think you will not be happy because I have a very bad news for you. Just a few months ago. So we're starting off good, right?
Yeah.
Just a few months ago, I hacked your operating system and I have full control of your device. I implanted a small application into your device, which sends me your current IP address and allows me to connect to your device just like remote desktop. He said device like 8 times in that sentence. Even if you change your password, it won't help. How I infected you? The router that you used to connect to internet had a security hole.
Not a hole.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no.
You can read about this problem by searching for blah, 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 219-10562. I hacked your router and I put my code into it. And when you tried to connect to internet, my program infected your device. Later, I made a full copy of your hard drive. I have all your email contact lists, lists of websites you visited, phone numbers, your passwords, etc. A little while later, while I was searching your web browsing history, I was shocked by what I saw. The sites for adults you are visiting, you know what I mean. I just want to say your fantasies are shifted far away from the normal course. This is my work email.
He was like, oh, what?
I was like, what have I been doing? For months now, I have been spying on you through your device camera, especially when you visited those sites to have fun. Those videos show clearly you having fun, and the content for adults with you.
man.
Oh my God. This is taking a turn.
Yeah, that's not what you thought,
Yeah.
right? This is pretty nasty, and I would be very worried if I were you. I have secured 2 videos, and he attached like the video link, supposedly. And it says like one's like 119 megabytes, one's 64 megabytes. You can verify that the timestamps correspond to the moments you were enjoying yourself.
Yikes.
Yep. Now, because I do not like at all what I saw, that you know is pretty crazy and ugly, I have been wondering how we can keep this matter under the wraps. Is $5,000 in Bitcoin a fair price to ask?
In Bitcoin.
Considering your perversions, is up to you to decide so. I will give that chance to conclude. If you want me to forget about the whole case, remove the files and disable the nasty app that is spying on you. I am waiting to hear your opinion within my opinion. Yeah. He wants my opinion on this? That's all he wants. He just wants my opinion is you're a douche. Within 72 hours. Yes, I give you 72 hours only to respond by contacting me on this email address. And you send an email address. If you fail to respond within 72 hours, I promise you, I will send those files with you enjoying yourself to all your contacts, all your associates, and social network friends. With access to your device, I will know when you read this message. You open it, the time will start ticking. You have 72 hours only. I am from Russia, and nobody will help you if you report this email. Before they find me, your life will be ruined. If you do not cooperate, I will release the ugly material immediately. It's almost over. This is why I advise you to write, so that we can deliberate and forget about the whole situation. Between US 5,000 USD in Bitcoin is not big to ask. And I know you can afford it. Do not be angry with me. This is just my job. And you are not the only person I've caught. Be angry at your fantasies. If you didn't visit those sites for adults, you would have no problem. Remember, time is ticking. So
Tick, tick.
that I'm reading it, and at first I'm laughing because it's ridiculous. And then 2 minutes later, I was like, did I? No. I couldn't.
I was like, good thing it's your work computer.
Yeah,
and
I'm
not-
like,
Yeah.
you ever have that thing where someone tells you do something, and even though you know you didn't do it, you
You're
still
like-
think
you
like,
still second guess
did I
it.
do that?
Maybe.
It's that moment when you walk out of the store and you're like walking out of the store and you didn't buy anything and you're like, oh shit, is that thing gonna go off?
Yeah.
Like, oh my
Right,
god,
like, I didn't steal
I
anything.
know
but
I didn't steal anything.
Oh my
What if
God.
it just goes off?
That's like
Maybe there's
airport
just something
security.
in my bag.
Yeah.
I'm
that
always
I didn't
afraid.
put in
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
right. Somebody else
Every
put something
time I
in
go
there.
to the airport, I'm like, they're gonna. I didn't even do anything.
Yeah, I might be a terrorist.
They're gonna catch
worried.
me.
Maybe I'm a terrorist. I must be.
Yeah,
I did get an email from that guy with your
Well, 72 hours has
Crazy
passed.
fantasy.
Yeah, I got it.
video.
Well, no, you
Is that
shouldn't have,
where
because
this
I paid him
item-
his 5,000
Oh, okay.
Bitcoin.
It's so funny. There's several things. Like, obviously, you didn't do anything on your work computer, but also, like, I know you have $5,000. Well, clearly, you didn't look in our bank account.
Well, Natalie let everybody know.
I just mean, like,
Natalie, your credit
We have
score
way
is
more than
900.
I just mean,
5,000.
like, we definitely can't afford to just give someone $5,000.
How do you just get Bitcoin, by the way?
Bitcoin.com.
Is there like, you just go
You
to
have to
Bitcoin
buy
and
it.
like, what's the conversion rate of dollars
Go to
to
the Bitcoin ATM and you just
Yeah, right. You
Yeah.
just,
don't you
It's like
have
a
to like?
silver coin and pops out.
You know what's sad is how many people this person has got to send them money.
well, okay, so I immediately after this happened, I contacted my IT director, and I was like, I got this email.
Deleted your browser history.
Yeah,
And you called her.
yeah. No, I made sure not to. I was like, I'm not gonna be weird like that.
All sneaky.
I left it all there. And so I was like, hey, obviously I didn't do this, but and he read through it. He was cracking up, and he's like, you can imagine some people, especially working remotely,
If they
probably
did that,
have
yeah.
watched porn.
They're just banking
in
on
some way on
somebody
their
did-
own
yeah.
computer. And so he's like, I'll bet somebody would pay this, not just being stupid.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not a bad
Like
scam.
a Michael Scott.
Yeah,
bad
right.
I
You
bet
should have
when they
replied
went through
back.
your...
I watched the video, and if you think that's bad, you can see this one.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
attached another.
Yeah.
Or just send back an email that says, enjoy.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I'm surprised that
I was going to send this to all my contacts anyway. So thanks for
surprised the
Yeah,
already
IT
did.
guy wasn't
Yeah.
like, Ryan,
You're on the
why do
mailing
you-"
list.
Jason,
Oh my
there was
gosh.
Jason like, how come you go on Board Game Geek 50 times a day?
Yeah. Sir, you've been going on BoardGameGeek.com
is that?
100-time day. You send me $5,000 now, or I tell
I
your
need our
boss.
IT director who looked through his stuff.
Nobody. Okay, so they just ran a scan. He's like, I had the guys run a scan on your computer. Only 30% of it was pornography. Only 20% of it was disgusting.
You're under the quota.
Yeah, I think you're okay.
You get like one free pass.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the crazy email that I've come up with.
Man.
What about you guys? Have you gotten any crazy emails like that in the last couple days?
Well, no, we haven't gotten any crazy
think so.
emails, but you were talking about it being hot, and we just had our like summer vacation last week. We went to a cabin with all of our family, and then my side of the family met us, And where was this hot weather last
Yeah,
week?
exactly.
Like, it was mid-70s.
Oh,
Doesn't
good
ever work
point.
out that way.
It was the most
Mid-70s is
beautiful
good.
summer weather if you're not at a cabin on the
Yeah,
beach.
When you want to
Right, where
hot
there's
to
a
go
lake.
in the water.
Yeah. No, it was like a windstorm and 65 when we got there. Like it was and then the day we left it was like 90.
It did it rain though?
I think
Like at night one time
Not
or
as
something,
much as
but
it
not.
said
That's
it
pretty
was
lucky
going
at
to.
least.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have that, but
Where was
well,
the cabin?
and I thought, this is perfect for playing board games with everybody.
Yes.
True.
Wonderful.
Perfect board
Well,
game weather.
Segue.
Every moment is an opportunity for board games.
yeah, there you go.
That, of course, didn't happen. What was I thinking? Why would they want to play games with us? No,
What did you
I mean,
bring? Did you bring like a huge truck full of stuff and like one
Of
game got
course
played?
I did.
Yep.
And I have learned my lesson, right? So I used to bring like maybe 3 like of those cloth grocery bags
Yeah.
stuffed full of games.
Yeah, way
And
too intense games.
I'd always bring the game that I hoped the whole trip turned into. We'll play this the first day to learn it, and then we'll play the second day because we learned it, and then we're going to play the third day to have a rematch.
Everyone wants to
day.
And now everybody's a board gamer.
Never.
Right. And
No.
that never happened.
No.
Right. I stopped bringing Terra Mystica to every family event. People got tired of it.
Yeah. it
No,
didn't work.
I mean we brought a new box of unlocks. We brought King Domino and a couple of roll and writes
We
like
brought
Welcome to
Secret
and
Hitler.
Secret Hitler and Inhuman Conditions and
I saw you guys
brought,
play that card game that you guys like a lot, that Skull Kings game.
Skull
Yes.
King. Yeah.
Though
brought
that,
that.
I feel like even that, once we got to play it, it was like, I don't know.
It didn't go
We
over
weren't
well?
into it as much.
Oh, no.
It was like a silent table of being like, come on.
Like, come on, this
like-
is fun. Yeah.
Like, you gotta
Yeah.
be into it to play. Like, yeah.
But we did have like, I would say, one successful game. We could talk about that when we start talking about games more later. But definitely the highlight of the trip, game-wise, was the original printing, or somewhat around that time frame, of
Yeah.
the Game of Life. Like an old version of the Game of Life, which
Yeah.
has way more rules than the new one.
Really?
It has like a stock market that you can bet on, and it has
Like, way too many loans.
life.
yeah,
You
you
know,
can
it
take
was like
loans.
too much like real life,
Yeah.
not fun
Yeah.
at that point.
If
Right.
it wasn't fun, yeah.
Internet predators sending emails. Got to deal with that.
Well, we didn't play it. Our kids did. Our two daughters played it, and then my sister and her husband, who's apparently, and we found out, super competitive, regardless of who his competition.
Doesn't matter the age or
Uh-oh.
age, apparently.
He wants to take your kids down.
Yeah.
There was like the stock market would be like you would bet on a number, and if you spun it, you'd get a big payout. And I remember he had to call me over because I heard a bunch of yelling
Screaming,
at the table. Is this cheating? Is this cheating? And he like literally
It's like,
like
half
just
spinning.
turned the thing to the
like,
number.
yeah.
It wasn't that bad, but it was that bad.
It
He was
was.
like, "Is this cheating?" And he just like turned at one number. Oh, look, I got a 7.
Oh, I
That's
spun it.
cheating.
Yeah. When a 9-year-old and 6-year-old are yelling at you, I think you're cheating.
It's like Price is Right rules. The thing has to go around at least one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I said
Exactly.
it has to go at least once. You
Yeah.
can't like just
Right, you can't. Right.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
We have a friend who would roll dice, and instead of rolling it, he would just spin it like on its axis.
It's like he would
and so it would
like
just
drop it.
fall on the face, and he's like, "I did it." I'm like, "No, man."
Yeah,
man.
that was they started it,
I
had
think
to go
it
to
took them 2
bed,
days, right? Yeah.
saved everything, laid it out the next
Yeah.
day, and finished it. That was
It was
the
intense.
big cap.
Did you feel a little bit like, why do I even bother if they're just going to play life?
Exactly.
That
What am I?
That's
What am I
exactly-
doing
yeah.
with my life?
Right? They hate every single game I've ever bought for them. They love Life and
So
Monopoly.
I'm telling you, it's the paper money though. You know how exciting to have the fake paper money when you're little.
When you're
And
little,
like,
yeah.
I get $100. You're like so like. I feel like just add that to a game and you're good to go. Yes, doing that, being like
Fanning it out,
like
and it's all
through it.
multicolored.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Making it rain.
Yeah.
Now I just want poker chips for money, and I don't want paper money anymore. That's hilarious. All right, so we have been playing some games lately. Have you guys been playing some games lately too?
Yeah.
I hope so.
What if we're
It's a
just
board
like,
game
nope.
podcast.
Yeah, no.
And have a good night, gamers.
All right, we're
We'll
done.
see you in a couple weeks.
So, a number of years ago, I played a little game by the name of Anachrony, Designed by David Tercey and published by Minecraft Games.
Game.
Clash Games. Yeah, I know.
Did you say Mineclap?
Mineclash. I did say Mineclap. Yeah. Clapping hands. These guys put out very heavy, thinky games with really cool themes. They also did Trickerion and the heavy game about tricks. No illusions. A trick is what a whore does for money. They also put out Suburbia, which was basically the movie Inside Out, but for grown-ups. And also soul crushing.
We never played that.
No, I know, because you needed a bunch of more people, and we just didn't play with that. This game was released in between those two, kind of like the meat in a very atypical weighty sandwich. And in Anachrony, players play as players playing to outplay the other players playing with them by placing workers on the playmat.
Okay, whoa.
Nobody's following.
Can you read that sentence again? I lost you when you were talking about a sandwich.
I was
trying to
figure out the sandwich.
thing.
No, I just, players play as players playing to outplay the other players playing with them by placing workers on their playmat. So really,
So there's a playmat.
No one
That's
understands your brain.
cool. I'm excited about hearing about this playmat.
really, it's a game about time travel. Basically, the Earth has experienced some tremendous tragedy by being hit by like a devastating meteor. And it wipes out like most all of humanity. It also opens these time rifts. The players then you have to utilize these time rifts to go back in time and speed up progress to kind of better handle the effects of the cataclysmic event. But mess with time too much and you'll create time rift anomalies. Sound awesome? It is. This is a worker placement game, and what you do is you send your workers out into the world, putting them into these like mech suits. What were those called?
Were they exosuits?
Exosuits, yeah, these exosuits. And they're super cool. We had the Kickstarter version. I think you can still buy them after the fact. They're like these minis.
They're like minis where you put
the little worker inside the top slot of the mini, and you put them out on the board. It's really cool. Or you can leave them on your player board and not use the exosuits to activate spaces there. You're hiring more workers, building buildings, and super projects. I kept calling them super colliders.
Every single time you'd be like, what are these?
The super collider? So I said super collider. We just met. Mining the Earth for valuable resources and discovering scientific breakthroughs that will help you heal the world. After the fourth round in the base game, the meteor hits. No matter what, the meteor is going to come and destroy everything. And you only have a couple rounds left then to deal with things. It's very interesting and really not like nothing that I've ever played before. Well, it's funny because the mechanisms of the game are very... like familiar.
Yeah.
Like everyone is familiar with the concept of worker placement, building buildings, collecting victory points, collecting sets of things to score points. That's all very familiar and very, has been done before. But the way everything is presented in this game makes it feel very different. Like it's really gorgeous, like Natalie. It really punishes poor decision making, like Natalie. One of the coolest mechanisms of the game is the ability to pull resources from the future that you have to then make sure you repay before causing a time anomaly, destroying the universe, like Natalie. The game, the game is really heavy. The decisions are difficult, and there isn't enough time to do what you need to get done, which creates the tension that most Euro games and Natalie are known for.
Oh man, that couch behind you're going to be sleeping on soon.
That's okay. There's a big TV.
Natalie's going to her room.
Okay.
My room.
The TV right there is pretty sweet. So that'll be okay.
Gonna lock the door.
All right. So things I liked about it: the production is off the map. The components are beautiful. I don't know if you've seen pictures of this game, Ben and Emily, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it is.
The artwork is stunning. The mech miniatures, exosuit things, which I'm pretty sure you can still get. I know it was the Kickstarter.
Oh, that's not part of the...
No, normally there's like little tokens you just put your worker on top of that represent the exosuits. In the Kickstarter, you could buy the mechs, which is what you want. Yeah, it's way less cool. It's a fantastic package, and it was obviously created with great care. The gameplay is super fun. The idea of buying buildings that go onto your player board that now only you can use later is something I love in games. We're like, we can all go onto the board and use these shared things, but if I buy these buildings, only I can use that power. And there's a ton of those, right? How many? There's like
we barely even saw.
There's 5 stacks of different types of buildings, and there's probably 25 in each stack, and we used maybe 3 in each stack.
I think I had like 5 buildings, and you had like 3.
Yeah, it's there's a ton of variability there. The way you have to decide how many of your workers you're going to power up in those exosuits to send onto the board versus how many you're going to keep on your personal player board is a really tough decision, and I love that. What's my opponent going to do? How do I get done what I need to this turn if she takes that space? I love the mechanism of getting the resources you need now. So basically there's a round in the game where we each select a resource that we want to take from the future. So like I might need a gold, this turn. And so I'll borrow it. Basically, I'll go into the future, take that gold bar, and bring it back to this round to then use to do what I want to do. And if I don't pay it back in the future, then a time anomaly happens, and I lose points at the end of the game, basically. It's a really cool mechanism. Cool. Yeah, it's really cool. The theme is awesome. The time-traveling theme is just not done super great in a ton of games, or I don't even know if it's really representative in a lot of games. There's not many time travel games. I mean, I can think of Chrono Corsairs, this, and Time Chase.
Oh yeah, Time Chase.
Which I guess those are all good games. So, so things I liked about it were
Tragedy Looper. Sorry.
Oh, Tragedy Looper. They just redid that too.
Tragedy Looper's another one.
It just got. I think it just got redone. Yeah, you're not going back in time to stop the asteroid from hitting. I like that about the time travel. You're not like reversing everything, but you're just going back to try to put yourself in a better position to deal with it when it happens. That subtlety makes it a lot easier to believe, I thought. And I really enjoyed that. So things I didn't like, Natalie beat me. So what did you think, Natalie?
That's right, by 1 point. Yeah. I liked it too. I mean, I like worker placement games, and that's like the main mechanic of this game. But it was very challenging.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I kept getting confused about like the going back in time part, remember?
No.
Whoa, how does Natalie remember this and you don't?
I know, that's weird.
Well, we just played it like...
Well, she beat me, and so now I just went through and Men in Blacked myself, and now I have no memory.
Well, like you have to like go back in time, and then I could never remember like you go back in time, and then there's like a couple things you can do, and I couldn't remember like how to make that all work. That was like a little confusing to me. But anyways, it was still really cool. I agree with you. It was cool like making the decisions about how many people to send out to the board versus staying on your board to pick, actions that you have. And it was also, I liked the tracks on it. Like the track that you go up and get points for going back in time and getting your stuff back. Yeah. Or there was the other track where you would make your workers alive. Because like every time you use them,
they're all dead.
Every time you use them, they go onto this like there was like
they're either sleepy or they're awake. Basically, they don't die or they're alive.
Okay.
If I use him, he's dead.
To wake
closed eye and an awake eye, and so they have to go to like the closed eye
because they worked really hard. Yeah, they have to go to sleep.
Yes, they work hard and they go to sleep, but you can put them in certain spots that they'll come back active, so you can then use them again quickly without taking an action.
I mean, it was very challenging, and luckily, and probably maybe the reason I won kind of was I kind of got this like good engine going where I was never short on water,
which is a big resource in the game.
Yeah, and so I had this thing going where like I could get a lot of water, and I could also get like extra workers if I wanted to, and pay water to get extra workers. So it kind of worked out for me. And
sure.
But I was still like, it was still really hard for me, even though I had that, and like Ryan didn't. I was still really short on resources the entire time, especially at the end after the
meteor
hit.
Sick Armageddon. You should have Bruce Willis jump on that thing.
Yeah.
After the meteor hit, it was a lot harder to get like players on the board because you had to like pay for them, and so there's actions you wanted to take and you just couldn't, And so now I'm like, I have two actions on the main board, and what ones do I take? I don't know what to do. To maximize
it's very
points.
hard,
but it was really fun. I wrote down that I gave it a 7.5.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
I gave it a solid 8.
Yeah, I figured it could get better. It was only my first
seemed
play.
low from the way that.
Yeah, I'm surprised you. I'm surprised. I thought you liked it a little more than that, maybe. So
I feel like
the box is
good.
humongous. The game is huge. The setup is huge. The rule book is huge. It takes a long time. I don't know if I would recommend it for you guys, Ben and Emily. I worry that it might go over like a game you're about to talk about soon did.
You don't say.
I've always looked at Mind Clash games. I've heard good things about Tricarion. I've heard good things about Anachrony. And
it was good.
What was the brain one?
Suburbia.
Suburbia. And we were actually just talking about Anachrony today. So we had like a little game session today. It was actually our first in-person game group.
Wow.
Since the whole quarantine thing, yeah. So my D&D group, we had a bonus game day today on Sunday.
Nice.
And so
But they were like, hey, they were asking me, hey, have you ever played Anachrony? Because they had played it recently or something. It's just funny you guys are talking about it today, and we were also just talking about it. They were sort of ho-hum on it, and so I wanted to ask you, like, the two main criticisms I've heard of it is if you go into it thinking it's about time travel, it's really a worker placement game with a sort of like time travel mechanic hooked to the side.
Like a
it's
twist.
not
Yeah.
a time travel game.
I would agree
I
with
would
that.
agree with that.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
then-
I don't know that I would. I guess if you're going into it expecting it to be all 100% about time travel, I could see how you'd be disappointed. I do think the time travel aspect is. I mean, the game is about.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really ever
Like,
get
there's
into
a specific phase.
I don't
that's
get
about
into
time
like
travel.
the theme. I don't honestly care that much a lot of times about theme, and so like, yeah, I guess it's technically time travel, but really you're just going back and trying to like make sure you don't
You
get
have
negative
someone in
points.
common with you.
Emily.
Emily's
I
the
don't
same.
care about theme.
I remember I was
know.
talking to Ben about Clank Legacy. I'm like, "What'd you think?" And
Oh
he's
my
like,
God.
"Well, it was cool." He's like, "I'd read all these pages though," and Emily's just like her head's going up here,
Falling
looking at her
asleep.
phone. She could give a
No
shit.
kidding. Right?
It's
Do you-
like
do you know how
school
many-
all over again. You know how many times the teacher's like, "And get going," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" Like,
I
can't
guarantee
pay
you,
attention to
She
that.
has no idea what happened in Clank Legacy. In
I could
Gloomhaven,
maybe
she has no
recognize
idea
some
what
names
happened the whole
that pop
campaign.
up.
That's
I don't
really
care.
funny.
That's just like in video games at the beginning. They're like, "Let's tell the story," and I'm
You're like, "Skip,
Yep.
"Can we
skip it.
And
I just
Ben's,
want to
like,
kill
just
things."
Watching.
Yeah, and that's how it was for me. Like I didn't even think of it as time travel. I was like, I got to go back and get these things so I don't get negative points. Like I wasn't like,
Yeah, I
well, I
know.
have to go back in time to help the meteor. Or what, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like it was all pretty interwoven pretty well. So I think honestly, if you are looking for that time travel theme, you'll find it there.
Yeah.
Personally, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
I
What was
just-
the other criticism you found?
Well, they were just saying that, and again, there's one guy in my game group who loves to jump to conclusions on the first gameplay.
Yeah.
But he was saying, oh, well, you just want to use the time travel mechanic every turn so that because it gives you points in the end anyway. So you want to just take the loans from your future self to pay back and then take advantage of that. And it was like, I was kind of like, how's that a bad thing? Like,
Yeah.
if that's what you
Yeah.
should be doing. Then
He's
do it.
right. I mean, that's a good
That
way.
is a way
You
to
want to
get
do
points.
that because I should say, if you don't do that, it's one of those things. In other words, if you don't do that and your opponents do that, they're going to get points and you're not, because
Yeah.
it does give
Yeah,
you points
right.
for paying them back. But you still have to work hard to get those
yeah.
because you have to do then other things to get those resources to then pay them back. And if you don't do that,
Right.
you lose
because you will have to give it back, and
So it's harder.
yeah.
I think you would like it, honestly, Ben. I really do.
I would love to try it. I just wanted to know if you had but you said you did, had the little suits that you
Oh,
put
yeah.
workers
Those
into.
are cool.
It is the coolest thing ever.
That's pretty cool.
It is so cool. You slide them in the top and then move them
right.
around. Yeah, it's really cool.
Where is it?
It's over there. But I, mean,
I
it
got
would
another
take-
time
it
travel
would
game,
take a
Time
lot of time.
Stories.
Oh yeah, Time Stories.
I've never played Time Stories, but I thought of that.
Yeah,
I
Time
just wasn't
Stories.
sure if that.
So
Time
that's Anachrony. I thought that was really cool. So I talked about this game just a second ago that Ben, you were trying to get
Jeff.
your
Phone
wife to
number
play,
one.
and she
Oh,
didn't
my
really.
goodness.
What was that game?
Here we go.
Let me pour myself a glass first before
Here, before I start this.
Dissing your wife.
we bash me a little
This
more.
is not the first time down this path, right? Because when I see a game that, and I know it's going to be challenging just to figure out what to do, that is exciting to me. Wow, what a cool puzzle. Over here, Snooze
No, but it's
Fest.
not.
This one.
It's not that it's just a puzzle. A
Here's what it
puzzle
is.
is different from someone being like, "Let's work after we put the kids
Several-
to bed." You guys want to sit down and do the taxes? No, I don't
Several
want to do the
times in our gaming relationship, I have had the night where I spend a significant amount of time reading a complicated rulebook several times.
No one forced you to
And
do
then
that.
I schedule a game night, and I make sure the kids are in bed, and I set the game up, and I rehearse my teaching,
You're in front
and I
of the
get
mirror.
ready,
In front of the mirror.
and I tell you the rules of this rather complicated game, and I can see the look on her face as I'm saying it. And we always get to the end, And she sits there quietly for a moment and then goes,
How do I break the news?
"Why did you buy this?
Oh no, that's when you know.
The death kill, the kill shot.
You know I didn't want this."
Oh.
Like, you could honestly show me a short video, 30-second
That's
video.
not as-
This is how
that's
the
not as
game
fun.
goes, and I could tell you yes or no.
If I showed you a video
Like, I could.
every time I was going to buy a game, I wouldn't have any game.
I was just gonna say, I wonder how many
Yeah.
you'd have Everdell and Orleans, maybe.
Yeah, that's it, right? Exactly. All right, so most recently I tried this with the game, the deluxe version of Clinic. And I don't have the designer and publisher here in front
I think
of
it's
me, but-
Albin Verd is the designer.
Oh, yep,
Is
yep.
that-
And he was like so he originally designed Clinic many years ago, and he would just, I don't know if you might know this, Ben, and if you do, and if you're going to say this, I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No, go
he would
ahead.
just make the game, and he would just send it out. I had a copy of it that he just made in his home with bullshit components.
You
like
did?
Yeah, and he had my Samurai 7 box. It was just like a box he got at like the Container Store, and he would just sell the games that way. And it got picked up. Clinic finally got. It was like well regarded. Clinic was, and it finally got picked up by. I think it was a Kickstarter, right? Because I kickstarted it
Yeah,
too.
the deluxe edition was the Kickstarter, yeah.
Yeah, it's got Ian O'Toole's artwork in it and everything like that, and it's beautiful. But yeah, it was just like his own little company, and now it's like it is what it is now. So
That's
I'm
cool.
sorry,
Good
Ben.
for
Keep
him.
going.
That's cool.
Yeah, no. So, it kind of fell flat with Emily, but I got another chance to play it today, and yeah, I think originally it was 2015 maybe was when he started sending out the old copies of it, and then in the last couple of years did a Kickstarter for the deluxe edition, and that's sort of in circulation now. But in the game, you are designing a clinic that is like a little campus. And the interesting thing about it is it's an isometric view. Think of like SimCity 2000 or something like that, where it's this above, right, at an angle view of a clinic that you're trying to build, and it has multiple floors. And then each floor is made up of different modules that are they determine what kind of patients that floor sees, and it has treatment rooms,
Like
and then
the
those
supply
treatment
room
rooms
or
need
something,
supply rooms
right?
to make them work. And each floor of your little clinic can serve different types of disease. And then what you're trying to do is bring patients in that are on like a tiered system of colors. So white being the least sick, red being the most sick, and there's yellow and orange in the middle. And then you have doctors that are also in those same colors, and you're trying to pair up the same color patients and doctors so that they can be treated. Then they'll pay you money, and then you use that money to buy popularity, which is your victory
Or wine.
points
You use
in
it
the
to buy
game.
wine.
Yeah, white wine.
Maybe I could do that game.
So there's a couple of things that are really tricky in the game, and it's kind of why I think it fell flat with Emily. Is the graphic design is really tricky because there's so many symbols, and until you know what they mean, they're not intuitive.
Okay, but a symbol should. It's a symbol for.
Yeah, it should be intuitive,
Right.
is what
It
you're
should
saying.
be, yes. Like, that's what a symbol is. No one has to tell you what a stop sign means. Like, come on.
You're
It
not
doesn't
wrong.
make sense.
I mean, when I set this game out today, and everybody was
Yeah.
like, "What is this?" Like,
and everything
what
was
is going
like,
on this
jammed
board?
on the tiny board. It should be double the size, and like
It
I
takes,
didn't-
and there's no way around it. If you were going to teach this game to people who had not played it, it takes an hour. I don't think there's any way around that. I don't see how
Yeah.
you could ever make that faster.
The teach, you're saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
The teach
just
is an
that much
hour
going
because
on.
there's all the different module types, and then the things that aren't modules, like parking lots and parks, and the fact that you can have different buildings. And then there's so many adjacency rules. Like, you can never have the same type of module adjacent to another module. And adjacency is in 3 dimensions. So it's left, right, orthogonally, and up and down. You can't have the same thing on the floor above as below. And you have to explain that to people and say, okay, every floor needs a service hub. That sets the type of floor that it is. But then there's different treatment rooms in that service hub, and they need to be adjacent to supply rooms. And you can go through all these rules about how the clinic is built.
I think we've all come to the
Yeah,
conclusion
exactly.
that after an hour of that,
And then, hold on,
not,
You're like,
yeah.
what?
you have to go through hiring, how you hire doctors, how you hire nurses, what do orderlies do. They
Exactly.
reduce your cost. And then you bring in patience. Well, how do you bring in patience? You get these things called Q points. It's based on how many entrances you have to your clinic.
Wow.
It's how you can move around people on the...
Like, come on.
yes, to bring in. Then,
That sounds
once
fun.
you've done that,
I know.
everybody is standing at the entrance to your clinic. Now you play a little mini game where you have to move them to where they need to be. And that all costs time. And the more time you spend, the more negative points you get at the end of the game.
Wow.
And you have to know all this up front to know how you should even take your first action to build your clinic in a way that is efficient enough so that you don't get totally screwed over at the end and you've spent 50 time points and hired the wrong doctors who level down each round while the patients go up in sickness level.
Which is like, what? Since when do doctors like get dumber when they're not?
Like, right? But to me, the puzzle of that is intense in a way that I was like, I want to figure this out. I want to try. And I will say the scores today were the winner got 69.
Nice.
Second and third place were 64.
Yeah.
And I got 33.
Oh, man.
All right.
Yeah, but you probably just, that's a learning game, right? It's like your first
It's just a learning
playthrough.
Yeah.
Well,
It was the first full
mid-game, I purposefully took a red patient who is going to die, -5 points, which it's really hard to get points because you can only buy popularity with the money you made that round. You can never buy popularity with that money later. So you can bank as much money as you want to
you can't
build buildings and hire people and do the stuff you do with the money in the game. But there's at one trigger point at the end of the round, you've made this much money this round, or maybe you didn't make any. How much of that are you going to spend on buying points? And you never get another chance to do that again until the next round with whatever money you make the next round.
So what'd you do?
Well, what I did...
He didn't buy points.
I brought in a red patient, and then we were, of course, drinking and talking. I got distracted. I misplayed an action. I selected the wrong action. I was going to hire some nurses so I could treat that guy. Instead, I built another floor to my hospital.
And the guy's like, help me!
Help, and they
Oh my
die.
gosh, you forgot
He
about
died. So,
patient in the
right,
lobby?
it's a big deal because I think a red patient brings in like $32 or something like that, and points are $3 per popularity.
Wow.
This is
And he
out of
died. That was
control.
-5 popularity.
Ooh.
So I never recovered from that.
So, okay, so you came in a pretty convincing last place, it sounds like. What did you think of the game, even with that?
I got to the end of it and I want to try again, but I wasn't as super as excited to play again as I thought I would be, because there was some weird stuff at the end of the game where we completely exhausted the patient pool. And so everybody built these amazing clinics that were like powerhouses of treatment. But we had sort of mismanaged all the patients and had treated them when they were not really sick instead of letting them get more sick to get more money off of them, which sounds crazy.
That's wonderful news.
Wow.
You guys have done a great job.
That's how it should be.
Right?
Yeah,
I
I was waiting for a face from Emily like, what the hell?
But it's definitely, it was like a 1 hour teach and maybe a 2.5, 3 hour play. And I think now that we know it, I bet you could play it in less than 2 hours.
Okay.
It's one of those things where when you know it, it would go so fast because it's only,
Because you know the symbols.
it's 6 rounds of 3 actions and it's not that complicated to carry the actions out. It's only 18 actions. It would be like 10 minutes a round, I bet. Well, now that we know it.
So there's not much AP going on?
Well, that is what was going on.
Gotcha.
And I think if you knew the game, you wouldn't have. Maybe you'd get more AP. I don't know. But I really want to try it again. Like, I would hate to say whether I liked or didn't like it after just one play, because it's one of those games where one play, I know it now. Okay, now I want to play it for real. Like, I want to actually sit down, start from the beginning, knowing what's going to happen, and play it out.
Did you feel it was really heavy? Like, was it a really thinky game?
Yeah, but not in terms of in complexity.
Yeah.
Not in like.
In like knowing what to do or deciding
Right.
what to do.
It's just like every action has so much weight to it. Have you guys ever played Food Chain Magnate?
I owned it for a time, read the rules, and I was like, there's no way it's going to happen because at the time I was playing with Jeremy.
Oh, yeah,
I was like,
that's not gonna
I
happen.
don't think it's going to work out.
I haven't played it.
No, I have not played it.
Okay, well that's a bad example then. That's a similar game where every decision has so much consequence that you have to like really be confident in your choice.
Yeah, I heard that's a game you can lose quickly, like at the outset, if you make the wrong decisions early.
Absolutely. Yeah. That is
punishing, I guess is the word.
Sorry. When we attempted to play, I don't think I treated patience the first round. I was like, I'll get everything set up, and I didn't have money, and therefore I couldn't do a single thing the next
so you're like stuck.
It was one of those where I was like, well, now I essentially failed already in round 2. Like, it didn't make any sense where you can't ever catch back up. I feel like that doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah, that's too punishing.
You have to play to the mechanisms of the game and not so much thematically, right? So Emily spent the first turn, I'm going to build a great clinic, and she hired 2 level yellow doctors.
Which then they got
and
dumb.
was like greatly set up.
Just like real life.
But didn't shoot anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So that at the end of the round, right, you didn't make any income, so then you had to pay out of your savings those doctor salaries, and then they downgraded to white anyway, and then you were at round 2.
I don't think I couldn't
worse off than you were at the end of the previous round with 0 money.
Yeah.
And
I couldn't do anything.
There wasn't anything you could do.
It didn't, so
like there was no way you could have ever recovered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see how that could put a bad taste in your mouth. Like,
Yeah, I never want to play it.
I wasn't like, let's do this again.
Yeah.
Well, what did the other people in your group think of it that you played with?
Great question.
We didn't talk about it too much. I was kind of rushing home.
Goodbye. Pack it up. Let's go.
But we're gonna play. I don't know if we're gonna play Clinic tomorrow, but we're gonna play games tomorrow too. So we'll see if we play it again, because there was a little bit of discussion of, okay, now that we know this, maybe we can play it again.
Right, but we don't have time today.
That's
sure.
True.
But everyone was just like, I think everybody wanted another shot at it. Everybody got to the end going, well, I shouldn't have done that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of these things that you just don't know. Like,
right.
I
A learning
definitely
game.
overbuilt my clinic. Yeah.
Those are the types of complexity that I like. I like more of that it's not just massive amount of rules, that I like thinking about decisions in a heavy game versus here's all these fiddly little mechanics of like, oh, I forgot to turn this card over when someone attacked me or whatever.
Yeah.
I would rather it be heavy in the thinky.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the rules,
100%.
like even though there's a lot, once you know them, they're easy to understand. The hard part is knowing what to do.
And you said both. The only 2 things, because I looked in this game a lot because I liked the theme. Because I like theme. I'm like, that's cool. Doctors, great. And
Boys like
it's
theme,
way
girls
too.
don't.
Devin would never play it. My wife Devin would.
You said it, not me.
The game, and,
Devin would never play it. But the only 2 negatives that I consistently see is one has to do with those doctors getting dumber, and there's also the sense that, like, I think, and Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, the best doctor can't see the person who's the least sick or something like that, right? Like you can't get, or something like that.
That's right. You have to. Nurses are essentially like match up the colors. So if you're off by a color, it's not that a low doctor has to get leveled up to a high patient. It's that any doctor has to get leveled up or down to the patient level.
And the other thing being the
there's-
art. I heard a lot about the art too. That some people had a hard time just looking at the board in that asymmetric view or whatever it was, or isometric view, where it's like you're looking angled and going, all right, is this room on top of that
What
room?
was that one game we
Realm
played?
of Sand.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That was the one. That's the
That was
one thing I'm
confusing.
concerned about with you and me playing is the view. Did you find it was difficult to figure out adjacency and stuff like that with that top-down view?
I didn't have too much trouble with it, but there was definitely a lot of, oh, hey, you can't put that there. People just forget because it's not really clear that this is adjacent to that because it's above it, because it's hard to
It's like
draw
A
that out.
to
It's
the
hard to
way
draw
it is.
3D and 2D.
Yeah.
And you have to be like, oh no, that can't go there, which means you couldn't have put that there, so that couldn't have gone there. And it's like, oh, he's like, well, what the heck
let's
am I
start
supposed to
over.
do that?
Yeah, what the hell?
Thing.
yeah. But now you know, so that's one other thing. So now you know you. Go
Yep.
play it. It's cool.
But yeah, I totally agree that the board is so crazy busy.
It's very tiny though. Like even if they just let's put some blocking in between, like just spread it out.
But-
It's like if someone packed everything into a tiny board.
I think it's more intimidating than problematic, because as soon as we played
Maybe
2
that too.
rounds, it was
You got
very
it.
functional.
Yeah.
All this makes sense. I know what all this means, but if you lay that on the table in front of somebody, they're like, what the heck is this?
There's a lot right there.
Wow. Okay, so that was Clinic.
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 Are we gonna play it?
Yeah, we'll play it for sure. Yeah,
We have a copy you guys can borrow.
we backed it too.
Yeah, we have it.
Oh man.
You guys can borrow Anachrony. They can borrow.
Yeah, we'll send you Anachrony, and
Is it? Yeah, Clinic's up there.
yeah, we got it up there. Jeff, what about you,
on
man?
the
What you been
list.
playing?
I've been playing some games.
Cool.
I do think, looking at this, that I think the thumbnail for this episode should be Ben talking about Clinic and Emily going, like, why? I just think that's like, that can be at like episode 45.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
That sums it up.
Just like Ben, we got back and did games in person for the first time.
Yeah, you went to
So
Bill's.
we're back, yeah,
the
and
game group.
it's again just feels weird to like, and it was the first time when I came back over here after 3
Yeah.
months of like, oh my god, are we breaking the rules? But it was cool to sit down in person, and it was Donkey Kong's pick.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, this is his game, right?
Yeah, and
That
we
you got
played
him?
a game called The Ancient World.
Nice.
Ryan
Ryan Lockett.
Yes, Ryan Lockett. It's the second edition, so it's a Red Raven game, obviously, because it's Ryan Lockett. So the art is really cool if you like that style of like above and below or near and far. That the art is very cool.
He designs the game and does the artwork for the games.
Yeah, he puts his name on the box twice.
Does it really?
I don't know. I think
Okay. I don't-
I'm not 100% sure about that.
what a jerk.
Yeah, Magnus Carlsen.
Designed by
publishes the
Magnus
game.
Carlsen.
Yeah,
run
he
by
published it.
And he
Red Raven
publishes?
Games is his
Yeah,
publishing
it's him and his
Just
wife,
him.
I believe,
Yeah.
that own the company, and then he designs all the games and does the artwork for all of them. It's really cool.
That's
Yeah, and
cool.
I've never really like seen an interview with him or heard him talk, so I can't like.
He
seems like a fine dude.
He's a decent.
He's no Magnus
normal
Carlsen.
man.
Do you guys know about Magnus Carlsen?
No.
You guys should know.
All right, so
You didn't
Magnus
listen to the last
Carlsen.
episode?
Let Natalie explain
Yeah,
who Magnus
that's a good
Carlsen is.
idea.
Natalie,
That's a good
can you
idea.
tell us who Magnus Carlsen
Sure.
is?
Magnus Carlsen is the number 1 chess player in the world who just recently had a Magnus Carlsen championship named after him, and then he won it.
Really? But was it named after him
Okay.
before he
well,
entered
okay. So
it?
here's how it worked. Okay. So
Oh, boy.
so
And he won
because
money, too.
So because of coronavirus, there's all these chess tournaments that happen around the world, and chess is a lot more popular overseas than it is here. And so they, usually they get together and they play these big chess tournaments. But now since coronavirus is going on, they can't do that. So Magnus Carlsen, the number 1 the world chess champion, he started a tournament. It's the Magnus Carlsen Chess Tour, but it's all 100% online.
Did you do
And-
this before too? Did you do this in person? Or is
No.
this the first
This
year
is
of it
this is
in-
the first year of him doing this, and so
Isn't that the douchiest thing you've ever
so there's 3.
Yeah, like why couldn't you just name it something
Why can't you just name it like
He named it the
Chess.
Magnus Carlsen Chess
Chess
Tour,
tournament.
and he's won 2 of the 3 tournaments so far in the tour.
Yeah, so what was it?
he's won, like,
You just found out that
$150,000.
Ryan just found out he won like the other day the Magnus Carlsen Championship, and on YouTube, one of the comments he sent me and Jeff was, Magnus Carlsen wins a Magnus Carlsen tournament, part of the Magnus Carlsen Tour, funded by Magnus Carlsen.
So wait, hold on. Does he give? He like provides the
No,
money?
no,
to
he
set this
doesn't.
up?
No. That's
This is a joke.
He doesn't
because,
He
fund
just
it.
named it after himself and then was like, and I'm also in it. Like what?
Yeah, and he's
who
winning.
plays in it, and then he's
everything.
like, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie,
I
it's
can
kind of a
understand
douchey
if
thing
he
to
like
do.
funded it,
I
or
will-
so, you know,
No.
he's
Yeah,
like
right.
donating
Yeah,
to.
sure,
Yeah.
yeah,
like this
but
guy.
no,
like the Ben Kennard, like you
Yeah.
right?
board game
I
book
can
Ben,
get on
and then
board
you're
with
in
this.
it. Like,
get on board with
I'm on board. Yeah, exactly.
I tried to like go online and like look for like people who felt like me, like, oh, what a jerk, like who does that? And of course,
But everyone
everybody's
loves
just
him?
like, he's amazing, he's so talented.
He is.
And I'm
He
like,
is. You guys. You guys. He's off. He's like he's the goat. He is like the best chess player of all time. Look him up, Magnus Carlsen.
yeah, wait, he
man.
sounds.
Wins his own tournaments. Oh, he's a douche.
Where's he from?
Complete and utter douchebag. But he's
he from Denmark?
he's great. Norway.
Norway.
He's a Norwegian. I'm sorry, Jeff.
I
Continue.
played
with
The Ancient World by Ryan Lockett.
by Ryan Lockett,
Back
designed by
to
Ryan Lockett,
Yeah.
art by Ryan Lockett.
Published by Ryan Lockett Games.
the Magnus Carlsen of board
Yeah.
games.
So all the players play as Ryan Lockett, developing their own Ryan Lockett game.
That's Mary Kill, Natalie. Ryan James, Ryan Lockett, or Ryan Lockett.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
man.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, well, players in the ancient world are competing to grow the largest, most influential city, and gameplay takes place over 6 rounds.
Finally.
It's a worker placement game where you're taking workers and you're placing them on various spaces on the board to gain money, to strengthen your military, to build buildings, and a couple other actions that are slightly less important, but kind of important. Building cities and building cards in your city will get you like bonuses throughout the game. It'll get you special abilities. Some will give you end-game scoring. So you want to focus on expanding your city because you want the best city. Players can also choose to fight the impeding titan that is about to crush your city.
Titan. Is this like Greek mythology Titan?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's cool.
Probably.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm not a huge Greek mythology fan, so I'm
Oh
going to go
man,
with...
I am.
What is
Yes.
it? Attack on Titan? Like
That's
that guy?
that's an anime. Yeah.
Or the answer is no. I'm not quite. It's either yes or it is or it's not.
It's either yes
They either
or no.
love it or they
Not
hate
sure.
it, or they think it's okay.
Okay.
Maybe.
And yeah, maybe. So you can choose to either put a worker out or you can choose to fight this monster titan that is about to destroy your city.
Which may or may not be from Greek mythology.
And And why do we do this, Emily? Great question. We want to we're attempting to collect these banners, these tribe banners. And these banners are just shown on a card, and you get banners by either expanding your city and building city cards or fighting the titans. And the banners are one of, 5, 6 colors. And your goal is to collect the most banners of all the colors. So you want to have a gigantic collection of banners in as many colors as you can. So it's not set collecting, but it's set collecting in the same color.
Okay.
So you want as many reds as you can get, as many greens, as many blues, as many greens. You want as many as you can, and you get points depending on how many you have of each.
Okay.
So the scoring is very simple. That's the majority of the scoring. There might be a little thing if you have different endgame scoring, but it's all about collecting these banners. Some of the titans are stronger, so they have 3 banners on them. There might be 2 blues and a red. So you
And
have
they
that
attack
your
you
collection.
back now, right?
And they attack you.
That's I think one of the changes. No.
Yeah. So the difference between there was a first edition which I never played, and a second edition. So if I'm wrong with the differences, you can email Ryan at the Gamecasters podcast
Yes, you almost messed up.
gmail.com.
We made the most complicated email.
Maybe I
name.
should. Maybe we should
making
start
this.
messing things up to try to get people to actually email us.
Yeah. No one emails us.
Just say really bad
People will
things.
email us to be like, you said no one emailed you, so here you go.
Yeah.
Tell me about. Yeah.
It was very nice.
I know. They.
So wait, is it though once you kill a titan or whatever, that one's out? Are there only so many? Or
Yeah.
is it
So
there's
there's a big pile of titans. There's level 1 titans, level 2 titans, and level 3 titans.
It's not
So
there's 8. Right.
Right.
Okay.
It's one
Emily,
per
you've played
round.
this
So
game.
if you
What is it?
Emily played this game.
I know.
One time.
yeah.
I
So
thought she was asking because she was like, "Oh, this sounds fun. I want to play this."
I'm asking a question.
Oh,
What
I'm
is the
teasing. No,
problem
we
with
played
this?
the
No.
first edition a long
Yeah,
time ago.
exactly. I
Yeah,
don't remember this game.
it's a big difference. The first edition's 2014. This one's 2019.
Yeah.
So there was
I
a
get it.
5-year
2014.
difference.
I forget games
And-
after a week.
So and Ben, if you remember, you can correct me, but the Titans didn't ever fight you back. They just kind of sat there, and I guess they were a sort of a secondary thing. You need to fight these Titans in this game so you fight them, and you have to have enough military strength to defeat them, and then it's going to hit you. So you have to roll these dice, and the dice will tell you whether some of your city buildings get destroyed. You could lose money. You could lose other resources. So they need to be killed throughout the game. And it's also cool is you can attack other people's Titans. So if Natalie has a Titan that maybe has better banners, I can fight her Titan and kill her Titan off and take her Titan.
She don't like
from her.
that.
There's also a pool of Titans on the board that you could fight at any point in time. So you could fight the one on your board that's going to attack your city, or you can fight off the ones on the board in this general pool.
Does that screw
like a lot of
another
fighting
player
Titan.
over if you fight their Titan?
I would not necessarily, unless someone's really hooked on it. I can fight the one in front of me, the other players, or there's a set of 3 that's on the board. So there's a lot that I could fight. If someone takes mine, the only thing that might suck is oh, I needed that yellow banner.
But is
I
only
needed
the
that
one in
blue
front of
banner.
you going to attack you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So if someone attacks and kills yours, at least you don't have
Yes,
to...
at least you're not getting
Getting
attacked
attacked.
in
You're
the
not getting
round, or you
attacked.
don't have to roll the
Okay,
dice. Because
that's
every
cool.
time, no matter what monster you fight or Titan you fight, you have to roll these dice that are going to destroy your city. You have a 1 in 6 chance of nothing happening, but that doesn't ever happen.
Of course.
You're just getting destroyed. So I enjoyed the play, and from what I read a lot of is that this is a huge improvement over the first edition. So
Oh, really?
I think some people were turned off. They played the first edition, they came out with the second one, and people were like, well, I'm not buying the second one. I didn't like the first one. But I think this is a huge improvement from everything I've read.
Another turned on.
With the Titans fighting back, with the new resources. The art is obviously awesome. There is an advanced mode where on the back of your player board you have a power, so you can use
that's
special
cool.
power,
That's cool.
player power.
I love
So
that.
you have something that's unique. For example, mine was I can start getting an extra worker a round early instead of everybody else. So that's kind of cool. I think it's very smooth once you get through knowing what each spot does. The rounds go very quickly. You're just placing a worker or you're fighting your Titan. There's not a lot of like fiddliness to it. So that was cool.
Cool.
I liked that you can attack other people's Titans. I thought that was kind of a unique thing where there is some player interaction, or I can pay attention to other people's boards. The things I didn't love so much, I thought the scoring was like not exciting. There was nothing exciting about me just collecting banners.
Yeah.
I'm like, because sometimes I would look and I would say, okay, this building is very cool. Maybe I want that building, but like, is that going to get me as many points as getting one more yellow banner? Why don't I just buy the yellow banner?
Yeah.
Or you could get some bad luck with the Titans that you get to have. Maybe those aren't the color banners you want, but that's
So when you kill a Titan, you get some banners. You don't like get the severed head of the Titan you kill.
Well, there are some of the Titans have like little bonuses, so I might get an extra $1 every round or an extra little resource every round once I kill that Titan, but it's minimal. I like that there is some way to block some people on the board. So each worker has a number 1, 2, or 3 on it, and you can get the 4 and 5. That's how you grow a worker. But so if I put a 3 on a space and Ryan, you want to take that same action and you put a 2, you have to pay $1. So you have to pay $1 if there's anything higher.
Okay.
I kind of thought that would be a little more interactive than it was, but it just kind of, maybe we were too nice to each other. But
it didn't happen.
It didn't really, and $1 didn't seem like it was that big of a deal to like just pay whatever.
Sure.
And then I think that, and this could have been just been the first game we played, but it seemed like there was one path to victory. And it seemed like it was having the strongest military and somehow being able to kill multiple Titans on your turn, you were going to win. That's what Joe did, and he like crushed everybody. But maybe that doesn't happen on the second play. But I liked a lot of the mechanisms. I liked the worker placement. The components are cool. I liked the Titans. I liked fighting those things. I would say if you didn't fight the Titans and they didn't fight you back, I don't think I would have liked the first edition either. I don't know if I would have.
I think that was a secret Cabal thing. Do you know? Have you heard that?
No.
So a long time ago, I listened to an episode of them, and they talked about this edition coming out. And Jamie, the host, was talking about it, and he was like, they're good friends with Ryan Lockett, apparently.
Okay.
And he said, I loved the Ancient World, but my biggest problem with it was that the Titans were just these passive dudes who did nothing to you, and I would love it. It would be so much more fun and interesting if you didn't mess with them, they messed with you.
Yeah,
and I think he might have made that change based on
managing them crushing your buildings, because they can kill 2 or 3 buildings on a turn, and now all of a sudden you don't have enough food to feed your workers. You're not making enough money because that building gave you money. So that was cool to try to figure out how to kill the Titan, but also not having it destroy your city or recovering it by the end of the round. And Ben, I don't know how much you remember about the first edition, if you liked it or if you were like, no.
I don't remember this at all.
You didn't even recognize those pictures or
I
anything?
looked up pictures.
Do you remember
never seen it in my life.
The workers being 1, 2, and 3? Do you remember that? And then you had to get the higher level workers?
No.
No?
When was this?
And then you would build buildings with the banners, but then you would hire like spearmen and stuff, or
Are you sure?
people in your army, and then there was
there
was like veterans that then would like permanently give you bonuses, and then you would
positive I played this.
I am positive that you played this, but
here?
I agree with like what Jeff was saying, that
I don't remember
the first
this.
one was kind of like, it was fun, but it was kind of like,
owned it?
Oh yeah.
Can't get over this.
Mind is blown.
I looked at the pictures. It's like I've never seen it before, and most of the time I at least recognize.
Yeah.
We
Right.
played it once.
I played that for sure.
Don't remember any of it. Nothing.
It was
like
I don't know. You would
it was
build
probably
up
I was probably
spears
like nursing
to
a
fight
small
the
child, and he was like, "Let me introduce a game," and I'm like, "Really, right now?" Like, it was
Yeah,
probably
fine, let me
when I
close my eyes
was-
the whole time.
Yeah, I was like, "Well, I'm gonna pretend, and we'll just."
It was definitely something that the theme brought me in, and then the gameplay didn't back it.
It was
up.
kind of okay.
Like it didn't deliver on. There's
Well,
big.
I mean, if they don't
because
fight back,
you think
I
it's going to be
understand.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Best game
You
ever.
know, it's like it wasn't. So it sounds kind of cool that you have to deal with the Titans in the
Yes,
second edition.
they're a
They
problem.
upped it.
You have to
Yeah.
deal with them or you will lose. So I liked that. That was, I don't even, if you're out there and apparently you're looking at the first and second edition, don't buy the first one.
Yeah,
There's no point.
right. Yeah, you're gonna be turned off. You don't want to be turned off. You want to be turned on. Buy
You
the second
won't
one.
remember it, even if you owned it.
Apparently not.
At all. I'm like honestly surprised right now that
News to you.
So yeah, that was the Ancient World. I liked it. I would definitely play it again. I like some of Ryan Lockett's games. I like Near and Far was kind of cool, but I haven't played that enough to get into it. But I've read a lot of people. This is his favorite. The second edition being his favorite. Their
best.
favorite
Yeah.
Ryan Lockett game. So
Interesting. Awesome,
Yeah.
dude. Cool. Well, everyone knows me knows how I feel about polyomino game. That's not true. There are plenty of people who don't know I love polyomino games, but I do.
not.
I love polyomino games. You don't think there is? I want them all, like somehow a more nerdy version of Pokemon. I want to play them all. The game we played this time is one of the first, maybe the fourth game that, I guess maybe even the fourth polyomino game, because Fitz was like the first one I bought, which is super good. Anyway, this one is called Ubongo Duel. In Ubongo Duel, you're taking polyomino pieces and racing against the other player, because it's only 2 players, to frantically fill a shape using a set number of polyomino tiles. Does that make sense? Basically, at the beginning of the game, each player takes some game boards. You have like 9 game boards because you're going through a bunch of these different game boards. Each game board has a different kind of shape on it. And then you roll a d20, and that d20 corresponds, whatever you roll, like say I roll a 16, that corresponds to a set number of polyomino tiles that you take from the pool. And each player has their own pool of polyomino shapes. So I roll that 16, we each take our shapes, and then we go. And you, with those shapes, you can exactly fill up the space on your player board. And whoever does it first yells, "Gotcha, sucker!" I'm just kidding. You say "Ubongo," and then it's over, and you score a point. And the first player to score 5 points is the winner. And it's super simple and super quick. And this game, it's been in my collection
we played
forever.
this a bunch. I remember playing this
a
bunch in
long
the
time
basement,
ago.
yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I've had this in my collection for so many years. I think. I don't know if you can still get it. I think you can. I think it's still in print. Z-Man, I think, puts it out. And have you guys ever played any version of Ubongo?
No, I
really
love
fun.
polyomino.
who
games.
knows actually for me. I mean,
What about
We just
Blockus?
played it yesterday.
You guys played Blockus? That was another
No,
early
we
on.
never played Blockus.
Yeah,
another
Fitz,
early on one.
Fitz, Blockus, Ubongo. Those are really. Yeah, you would like this a lot, Ben. If you like polyomino games, this one is.
They're my favorite.
It's me too, man. It's so good. Yeah, okay.
Just want to fit stuff together. I just
Yeah,
wanna
right.
put
That me too.
tile
That's
in
like
there.
my favorite thing putting it
stuff
together.
That's my
together.
favorite thing. That one, that's gonna fit perfect. I need
Okay.
that. I need that piece.
So it's cool, Ben, because there's 20 different variations of polyomino tiles that will all of them fill up the space on your board.
Okay.
Like,
So it
perfectly.
always works out that it could fill it up.
Yes. Although there are times you'll play it and you'll curse the
like,
thing. You're
"No
like, no,
way.
nope, nope.
The game's broken.
Yep, they're
They messed it
wrong.
up.
And then eventually you're like, oh, I got it, Ubongo.
You don't know.
And on the other side of each player mat, it's harder.
Like harder, right?
Yeah. So on the easy side, it only takes 4 polyomino shapes to fill up the main shape, and on the reverse side, it's 5. And so it takes a lot longer and it's a lot more challenging, but it is really, really quick and it's really fun. It's a really cool game to play with 2 people if you don't have that much time, but you still want that polyomino fix. Because just like you, Ben, I love like pretty much any polyomino game I can get my hands on, I want to. And this is a really good one that I think kind of flies under the radar.
I like the simpler the better most of the time. Right.
Yeah.
So this,
And
this
that's
is
it.
like the bottom of that. This all it is playing the tiles.
That's
that
it.
sounds perfect.
Yeah, there's nothing like, there's no, well, if you play a red one, you get up. No, it's
No.
like, finish this first and you win.
The only other rule is it's like a catch-up mechanism, and it's a variant that you can play with. If you're just inherently better, because you can just be inherently better at seeing how to fit these pieces together than your opponent. There's a catch-up mechanism where if you get to the third point, because it only takes 5 points to win, if you've basically finished 3 before your opponent even has any, you have to now complete 2 puzzles in a row before your opponent finishes one to move up that next point. And so we play with that occasionally, and that helps even things out a little bit.
Is that because Natalie's so much better than you?
Yeah, she's way better. But no, this is like if you're looking for a really simple polyomino game, and again, I really hope it's available. I think you can still get it. I would check it out. It's really cheap. It comes in. It's like the, that standard 2-player box size. Like Patchwork comes in, or
Right.
any of that kind of stuff. And it's just a fantastic game. I really like it. Natalie, what did you think?
We're waiting.
Natalie,
The
girls have somehow gone to the bathroom.
Is it a
together.
Ubongo? It's just strictly 2-player one, right? What's it called?
So there's
Ubongo
the normal
something?
game is Ubongo, and it's got different rules. This one is Ubongo Duel, and So
Do you have both, or have you only played Duel?
no, I've played the regular Ubongo. It's a little bit different. You can play like 4 players, and there's like these tracks you're racing up, and you have to get these gems, and it's different. It's a little different, but the
I
core
don't know
mechanism
about
is the same, where you still have everybody. It's like go, and then you're trying to fill your space up. But then you're like collecting these gems to earn victory points. This one strips all that away, and it's literally just, can you complete the thing before me? Did you ever play Daedalian Opus on the Game Boy?
Didoy.Daskadol?
Yeah.
I know. I was like, the what now?
There was a game on the Game Boy called Daedalian Opus, and it was basically just that. It was a 1-player game where you're just, all you got is a bunch of polyomino shapes, and you're just trying to fit them into the thing. It's basically that game, and it's just super
What's
fun.
that called?
It is.
Daedalian Opus.
Miss
I might
Collins
not. I
Opus.
really might be
Yeah.
pronouncing that wrong.
Ubongo Duel is really fun.
Yeah. So, what did you think about it, Natalie?
We played this like 5 years ago for the first time, and I remember I really liked it, and I don't think I played it again since we just played it.
No way.
Yeah, and it is super fun. It's just one of those quick games you pull out, and it's like racing against each other to see who, gets it first, but it's like the quick kind of fun where it's like, who cares if you lose? It's just like fun racing each other.
Yeah.
And just if it's kind of funny, like one thing that I always like remember about this game is sometimes you're like putting the pieces together and it feels like is this even possible to fit these in this
Yeah, we were
shape?
saying
Like I don't
that.
think
Yeah.
it's possible. And
Like,
then poof,
no.
then all of a sudden like, oh, got it.
Yeah.
Like the second after you think it's impossible, you have it. Like it's just funny that way.
It's really interesting to me that there's 20 different variations of polyomino tiles that can all fit into this one shape.
Yeah, that's some
That seems
way.
really smart to me. Like whoever
Yeah.
created that is an engineering genius.
Yeah, I like this game a lot.
Dave made an app about it.
Yeah, right. Without ever looking at it, exactly. So that's Ubongo Duel. Up next is the segment that's supposed to be all about beating down popular board games, but usually ends up in us kind of breathing down the users who made the comments next. Which will it be today? Find out in this episode's Board Game Beatdown.
Gave you number one. We 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 gave you number one.
On today's board game beatdown, I picked a game that I know all 5 of us like.
Uh-oh.
And that game is Orleans.
Ooh.
This game is ranked number 25 on Board Game Geek, and it has 20,000
Wow,
ratings.
it's ranked number 25?
Yeah.
Holy
great.
cow.
I'll be honest, there wasn't that many bad comments.
Good.
Like overall,
It
like
doesn't
out of
deserve
like
it.
3,000
Yeah, exactly.
comments,
Yeah.
like I had to go up to like a 4 rating to even get enough of content
Really?
for this. Yeah, so
Wow.
I think a lot of people like it.
So are the comments like, it's all right?
It's fine.
not bad.
This is the board game.
Yeah. The board game, it's
I tried
okay.
to pick the best ones I could find.
Okay.
All right,
Let's hear
so
it.
Frozen Flesh said,
Oh,
Who thinks of that name? You're going to Board Game Geek. You're like,
that's gross.
should it just be Jeremiah? No. How about Frozen Flesh?
yeah.
Okay.
Frozen Flesh said, this game's theme is boring.
That was it. Huh?
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I can't argue
I'm
there.
telling you.
Oh,
I think-
boring.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
boring.
think this is your buddy who's long-winded.
Samo?
Escoseric?
Escoseric.
Oh, boy.
Samo. I wouldn't call Samo Ryan's buddy.
Yeah.
It's,
Unless you're trying
going a
to.
little too far.
Yeah.
Okay, he's infamous, I guess, on board.
True.
Yeah.
Question: what do you get if you cross a cube-pushing, engine-building Euro with a Dominion?
Esque. Did you pre-read these before you did
No,
this?
You just copy and pasted them?
She's like,
That one.
but no. Okay, let's just say it said esque.
okay.
Let me start over.
Yeah, start. He does this to people. I understand.
Question: what do you get if you cross a cube-pushing, engine-building Euro with a Dominion-esque? Nope, this still doesn't make sense.
Let me see it. What does it say?
An engine. Okay, we're just gonna go to
Pass.
the answer. It's like the answer is a box chock full of cardboard chits. Oh my god, my phone just turned off.
Oh man.
Let's move on. Oh, whoops, the power went out again.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Yes.
The Gamecasters
Not
host
even a bad
beatdown.
comment so far.
Orleans just can't get a beatdown. It's so good.
You're gonna.
Okay, next.
We're rating this a 1. I wanted to know what he said.
A box chock full of cardboard chits and wooden pieces and stuff. It's not even that good.
Yeah,
that
if
payoff.
somebody's like, hey, what if we took a cube pushing engine building game, but we put in the deck building mechanics of Dominion? I'd be
Yeah.
like,
Like,
I want to
sounds
play
good.
that.
Sounds
Yeah, I
great.
know. I'm like, okay.
Who doesn't want that
Right.
game?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what's so funny about a lot of these. Like, people complain about stuff we like about it.
And instead of a deck of
Yeah,
cards,
yeah,
I get to
that's
pull
cool.
things out of a bag.
Right.
Awesome.
I'm
Yeah,
in.
sounds better.
Date fruit says,
What is the date
What's
fruit?
a date fruit? Oh, that's
Is it just a date?
honeysuckle.
like the date. You know, a date.
Oh,
It's
a
a-
date. I got it.
But then why did you have to tell us it was a fruit? Like
Because he
date
wants to
fruit?
differentiate between. I'm
date
not dating
date.
a fruit.
Yeah.
This
It's
is a
also one word.
date fruit.
Yeah.
Maybe is the official name of a date fruit?
I don't know. But all they said was simultaneous.
What? And what was the rating? A 1?
Yeah.
Wait a minute though. That's not true. Because if one player wants to,
Yeah,
they
you can be
can
like,
make it.
"Stop."
No, we're going in order.
Yeah, because you might want to take a house first or go on the path first.
Wait, so he rated it a 1 and commented simultaneous?
Yeah. I was like, what?
I feel like they just
all
didn't
you
play
got?
correctly.
Yeah, they didn't play it. Yeah.
Right? And then they're like, well, this sucks.
Well, but also I feel like simultaneous is a point in its favor.
Don't worry. I have some better ones coming.
We'll see, Natalie.
Do you though?
Lahav Fanatic 99 says, I am honestly shocked this continues to rocket up the charts. Found it entirely too long. Tried to play a second game and quit. Would never play again.
Ooh,
Oh, Lahava's good though.
well, that is good.
Yeah.
He likes that.
Yeah, Lahav is good.
Well, boo.
Okay.
I'm surprised it rocketed up the charts too. Not that it's. I love the game, but
Yeah.
I can't. I'm pretty shocked. It's
Yeah, number
25.
New Killer Star 27 says, a boring, dull cube pusher of a game. It kind of gave me a similar vibe to, I'm sorry, Ryan, Hansa Teutonica, in that it was very dry, soulless experience where points felt very arbitrary. Complete stinker of a game.
Oh,
Why are you looking at me?
I was just seeing
Because of Hansa
reaction.
Teutonica?
I thought he'd be like,
I can't deny Hansa Teutonica's theme is very dry, and it is a cube pusher. It's still amazing.
soulless.
No, there is so much soul.
I don't think I've ever described a game as soulless.
no, it seems so mean.
I know.
It is
I feel like they
mean
put
way
too
to
much
describe
into the
it.
game then. Like,
Yeah.
yikes.
Yeah. All right.
HMD79 says, this game wasn't tested. Broken.
Of course.
No, it was
why?
not.
What was it? What was
Yep.
broken about it? HMD 79.
Oh, they didn't say.
Yeah, so they just went through. They basically went through the entire process. They just skipped the whole process of play testing a game and just publish it and put it out.
Broken.
It's ranked number 25, and it's a broken
Yeah, it's
game.
broken.
Right.
No one play tested
Because
this
one
game.
time he played it and he got cheese and lost.
Yeah,
I did the cheese strategy.
to pull my farmer,
the
I
cheese
did.
strategy didn't work.
Yeah.
Broken.
And Shar says the unique bag building mechanism is just another annoying way of getting too much randomization. I like that.
Isn't that the whole point?
Yeah,
that
right.
is the whole
Like
point.
what?
That's the game.
That's I don't get.
Wouldn't it be
Also,
super
I mean,
easy if
there's
you
a
could
gazillion
choose?
games that are random. I mean,
I know it's like, we
rolling dice and
right. Exactly. It's the same
Yeah.
thing. You're not rolling dice. You're not drawing from a deck. You're
Yeah.
pulling from a bag.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
the person who, at the end of the game,
my
their
gosh.
bag was heavy like a coin purse
Yeah,
because they never purged anything.
like I just never knew what I was gonna
Used
pull
to
out.
yeah, I don't know what was going to come out of there.
I like that style.
Matello, I don't know, says it reminded
Matello.
me too much of The Village.
That's it.
I never
One.
played that
The
one.
movie or the game?
It's just called Village.
Oh yeah.
Unless there's.
The was in lowercase, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I've never played Village, so
Yeah.
Either, have you?
Yeah. You and me
guys haven't
set it
played
up
it?
a long time ago. Learned the rules, and then we didn't play it.
Really?
Yeah, because like Halo was on, and we were like, let's play Halo.
Halo.
Yeah. You didn't play.
Costeric says artwork looks cheapish, very hard to plan ahead. Stuff happens and then the game ends. Not much fun.
It's every game. Every game is like that. Stuff happens and then it's
the
over.
game ends. The end. This one's just like a bunch of gibberish letters. I'm not even gonna say it. Orleans is not a painful game to play, but certainly not a game I would ever willingly choose to play.
Oh,
Ouch.
I
I
know.
mean, I
that's
can't
kind of
argue
a
with him,
mean
but
one.
man, that's a little harsh.
Commander
Orleans.
Overbite says,
I feel like we've had this guy before.
yeah, I know. Okay. I didn't put this in. He basically wrote this like long paragraph about his opinion on the game. But then the funny part, so there's like a paragraph, and then it says, with two little asterisks, warning, serious game nerd buzzword bukkake ahead.
Whoa!
Oh, come on.
Whoa!
Yep. And then I wrote what he said.
We're not getting on the dice tower with words like bukkake.
I don't even want to. I mean, I can read. I know, exactly. We don't need them. Obviously, lots of people disagree with me on this point. Some people can't get enough of this style of attractive-looking, ultra-low conflict games. Even I am occasionally charmed by them. But to me, the games that really end up standing out from the crowd are the ones that are playgrounds, blah, 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 one more. That was his...
Man, all right, headgear.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever, man.
Let's see.
Some people like really getting in other people's faces. Like, they love that about games, and they can't understand how somebody would want to play a game where you don't do that.
Yeah.
And with us, we're kind of like the exact opposite.
Well, like, what's that guy we interviewed? Gamey Lannister. I know he liked the more, like, competitive games and, like, take that
Yeah,
kind
he's
of
like,
stuff.
I like pissing people off.
And then, like, Kyle, my brother-in-law, he doesn't like cooperative games because he's like, I want to beat everybody.
Yeah, he's like, I just want to beat you. If you're crying, I'm laughing.
We are not like that.
Yeah.
No, we just want to have a good time and everyone else to have a good time too.
Yeah. Peepser says, thought this would be a lot heavier than it turned out to be. Setup is a bitch.
Yeah. Okay. I can't. Yeah. I mean, setup sucks. The setup is not fun. On the right side of the board where you're putting all that's annoying.
Lots of stuff.
There's lots of stuff.
The saga of the setup for me, because I got the Kickstarter edition a long time ago, which is the deluxe edition with all the wood components and stuff. And I originally changed out the wood components with some of the Stonemaier Games geek bits, like the fancy bits.
Yeah, the fancy.
And those were too hard to randomize. So then I went back to the wood components, but those were a pain in the ass. So then I finally just went back to the cardboard.
The original
chips.
cardboard.
Yeah.
Oh, because they're at least all the same shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just can
then
put them
you
all
don't.
out.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep. We had that problem with the game Bites. It was this little game. You're supposed to randomize all the food components, but all the food components are shaped like what they're shaped like, and you can tell that. I learned object permanence, and I'm like, okay, I know that this is an apple, and I'm gonna. Yep. Okay. Like, how do I randomize
Feels like an
it?
apple.
Yeah, I have to like, dump them all out and just.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trauma 14 says, drier than a desert. I'll pass.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I can understand how somebody would think it's dry and
Yeah.
but
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I don't think so.
Wrong.
I'm getting offended.
Agent Herring says, this game reminds me of one of those Abercrombie fantasy books. Nice idea, beautiful story, but throw away half of the overflowing content and nobody would really notice.
What's an Abercrombie?
I don't know.
I don't know what
Isn't that a clothing store?
Abercrombie.
Is that supposed to be like the old catalogs back in the like early 2000s was for clothes, but essentially it was just a bunch of naked models?
Yeah, that's what I was
You know,
What's wrong?
And you
That
would
sounds
get these,
awesome.
Like giant magazines that was like to show their clothes, but it'd be like a pair of jeans and then like no top, and it would be like 20 people, and you're like, well, are we
All
really
these-
showing?
Yeah,
No
what
shirt.
are we selling here?
That's I don't know.
Okay, so they're saying the game is overwrought, is what it sounds like they're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
And then this is the last one. Pito Nawi?
Okay, Pito.
Pito.
Solitaire, name of Bond's girl or game in Windows. Now you can count Orleans too.
What?
What?
They feel it's like they're like solitaire. Like the definition of solitaire is name of a Bond's girl, like James Bond. Or
Okay.
a game in Windows, like the game solitaire.
Oh.
Or now you can count Orleans too.
Oh,
I get it now.
That took too long to plan.
tough.
So yeah, sorry.
The
sorry,
end. I
buddy.
mean, that's like, and that was tough to even find those.
That's one of the more tame beatdowns we've ever had.
Yeah.
A lot
What does
of
that
people, I
say
think,
about
like it.
That's 'cause
Orleans?
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you guys played all the expansion content?
Not all of it, because there's so many modules.
Yeah.
So I have both the big box expansions, and there's tons of modules in both of them that we've never played. I've always wanted to try the one that's called the Duel, where there's like a special board, and then the round end tokens are
we do that
set.
once?
No, we've never played that one. And you get points different ways. It's like somebody wins when they're the first to do something. I can't remember what it is.
I don't
That sounds
But
kind of
there's-
interesting.
I've done. We've played all the essentially all the modules that you could just put into the base game without many changes, like the merchant cards and the changing. We've never played the. There's the one board that's more like mean.
The intrigue
That's
board.
just because of me, though.
Yeah, the intrigue board we've never used, and we did the co-op twice because we lost it the first time, and then we did it again and won, and then we've never played it since.
Dude, we played the co-op the
played
first
the
time and
co-op.
got annihilated.
Oh yeah, it was hard.
But I loved it. That was my favorite way to
But
play
it was the most fun. Yeah,
That was super good.
we almost liked it better than the base game.
Well, Orleans, how do you feel now? Probably pretty good still.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh, okay, I made it through pretty
Not
good.
so bad.
So, given the fact that the Date Night Dicers have been siphoning off our entire listener base, I've heard the recordings leaked all over the internet where you guys are just cackling and chanting, Gamecasters, Shamecasters, take them down. So, given the fact that they so smugly want to eliminate us, I'm going to give Jeff and Natalie the opportunity to fight for our lives. That's right, I don't fight. I'm a conscientious observer. You know, a coward. So I thought we could do a Gamecasters versus Predator game for bragging rights over the tens of people in the Lesser Michigan board gaming podcast market. Are you guys ready to play the us versus them version of Board Game or Bullshit?
Whoa.
Okay.
In Board Game or Bullshit, your job is simple. I'm going to present you with the title of a game. Your job is to tell me if it's in fact a game or if it's bullshit. Is it an actual game or just something I made up? Okay?
So we say game or we say bullshit.
Yeah, you say it's a game. That's a game or that's
Do we
bullshit.
shout it out or
Just
do we
the
like
title?
ding?
Yeah, I guess just the title.
I'm gonna use bull crap.
Yeah, based on just the title. You can say bullcrap. You can say bullcrap if you want. There will be 5 games per team, and we'll go like Ben and Em will go first, and then you guys will go. Whoever gets the most right is the winner.
Oh, okay.
You can collaborate freely together, but you can't use the internet in any way because that would just be
Okay,
super
so
simple.
we're not like
You can't just go to Board Game Geek and be like, "Is that a nope
I mean,
bullshit"?
we're not like buzzing in or anything.
No, you're not buzzing in. It's a turn-based style game.
How much time do you have?
I didn't think that through.
I gotta be home eventually.
You have a normal amount of time. You know, if I sense that you're taking too long, I'll wrap it up.
Okay.
If you guys tie at the end, we have a special tie break that I'll talk about when it happens. And oh my god, I hope you guys
hope we
tie. I hope you tie so badly.
I feel like we're doing the tiebreaker either way.
Yeah. We can just both get 0.
So are you
Yeah.
ready to play Board Game or Bullshit
Okay, I'm so
Yeah.
ready.
or bullcrap? Here we go.
Guess go first.
Ben and M, yes, Team Carol Baskin. Your first Board Game or Bullshit is.
What are we, Tiger King?
Now, you guys are Team the Best Team.
You're being mean.
It's on.
I'm just kidding. Okay, so are you guys ready? Team Baskin, number 1, Dungeon Raiders. Is Dungeon Raiders a board game or bullshit?
I'm gonna say that is a bullshit.
Final answer?
That? Sure.
You good with that? That is in fact a board game.
Oh,
Dungeon Raiders, real game.
Well, now I don't ever trust you, Ben.
do you know what it's about? Rating
I did when I looked it up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Rating
several
Dungeon.
I think it's kind of
too
what you would
easy.
expect. All right, Team the
That
Best.
sounded like a trick game.
Yeah, it
Yep.
did.
It did.
I would have went.
It's
I would have
very
went bullshit.
simple.
You
Too.
thought bullshit? Were you going to say bullshit? Okay. Team the Best Team, your first board is Terra Mystica.
Right.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
deleted the first part of the podcast.
Yeah, it's gone now. Oh, power outage. Yeah, Midland.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
They have a lot over us.
Yeah.
Okay, so for you listening
Yeah.
at home, you don't know.
Blackmail.
This is day 2 of our recording. We lost the first half of the recording. We didn't lose it, but there was
We
a
lost
crazy power outage right in the middle of the recording session.
Right before the beatdown.
Right before the beatdown, right as Emily was just getting shit-faced, and now
Yeah,
we're
right?
back.
I had to
She's
catch up
sober.
now.
Yeah. So here we are again. Okay, so Jeff and Natalie, your first board game or bullshit game is The Isles of Madness. Is that a board game?
Sounds cool.
Isles of Madness.
Yeah, can we make all these games?
Is the
I feel like-
Isle
I
of
feel like they're
Madness?
all gonna sound
I think
like
that's next to
bullshit.
the Isle of Cats. I think there's a
Like
cat.
Isle of Sky, Isle of
It's like
Cat.
the
It
Mansion
sounds
of
too
Madness,
bullshitty.
but the Isle. So we're going bullshit.
What do you think?
All right, we're going bullshit.
Okay.
That's final answer?
Bullshit.
Shit.
Correct!
Hey!
Bullshit! They only had 5 minutes to study the list before I did this, guys. So they probably
Yeah, we
forgot
had- we had
most
a
of them.
2-day study guide.
Okay. All right. Team Baskin, number 2. Nice egg.
Nice egg.
Nice egg.
Well, it seems like bullshit, but it's so easy that, like, why would you come up with that?
Are you keeping score?
Right?
Okay.
Does he look like somebody who would come up with the word nice egg? He does.
He's a very strange man.
What are you going to say? What were you going to say?
I was going to say... I don't know.
Say it.
Those are all sound real game. It's a real game.
Board game.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Correct.
Nice
Nice egg! Exclamation point.
Okay.
Is this like
I need to look that up.
Like, what is...
So here's what I did, guys. Just so you know, I just picked a bunch of games that were actual games, and then made up a bunch of games that were bullshit. And I did this randomizer where I randomized them all, and then I randomly determined them between the two teams. Okay, so I didn't like actually. So I didn't like handpick these for you guys and handpick these for you. I just they're all random. That's a lot of preamble to be like number 2, Caverna.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Stack the deck.
So wait, what is Nice Egg about? Do we know?
I knew.
I know.
If this was
I
last
gonna
episode,
say,
I had it all in my
I
brain.
don't want to know what nice egg.
Yeah, look up nice
Yeah.
egg with an exclamation point after egg.
That was before he spent 10 hours rebuilding the
Yeah.
audio.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't have time for this
Yeah,
crap.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. My nice egg went out of the
Everyone
brain.
can just
and-
look it up on their own.
Okay, number 2, to team the best team, To Court the King. Is that a board game or bullshit?
To court the
Court
king.
the King?
To
like-
Court the King.
Kind of sounds.
It's like a love letter spinoff. To court the king. To court?
T-O.
Like, that's what
Court.
you're doing.
Yeah. I would
Right.
assume you're courting
Who courts
the king.
a king?
To court the king.
Don't you court the queen? Oh. Or does that not matter? Is that
I
too
have
sexist?
no idea.
I gotta say,
What should we say?
I kind of. What do you think?
it's 1-1 right now.
I'm
I think it's
leaning
bullshit. I don't
towards.
think anybody courts a king.
Oh my god, I hope you tie.
I was kind of leaning towards the real game, but
Like just
I don't know.
overthinking
I'm just.
this.
Yeah, I don't know. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
Oh, seriously?
Final answer, bullshit?
Yeah,
Bullshit.
right.
It is, in fact, a board game. To Court the
man.
King is a board game.
Lame.
I looked up Nice Egg. It came out in 2019.
Oh, Nice Egg is a 2019
It's a
game.
yolk dropping action game in which players are challenged to drop yolks one by one each round. Can you be a fried egg master? That's all it says.
Drop it like
Oh my
it's
god, I
yolk.
want this now.
It's so funny because I was going to jokingly say that that's what it was. Like making an egg over easy. And that's what it is.
Like,
I think we should start doing that. I think you should
Secret
say what you think the
Santa.
theme
Yeah.
is.
I mean, I see why no one heard of it because there's no reviews. It's the category is uncategorized.
What? Because you're like, night. What the hell? How do
You
we?
have to
What
like
is this
know
about?
who to
Mechanisms,
talk to
NA.
get a hold of it.
Yeah.
Mechanisms, eggs. Egg flipping. Okay. Team Baskin, number 3. Taffeta, Spice of the Silkworm.
Silkworm.
Taffeta, Spice of the Silkworm. So it's like Taffeta, Spice of the Silkworm.
Okay. Let's think this through.
This is one moment where I'd like to see
Okay,
the video.
what's your...
Spice of the silkworm. I don't think a silkworm would have a spice.
I agree.
say it
They do not. Silkworms do not have spices.
It's not gonna be
Helping them.
Spice
a
downtown.
silk worm? Like, are you
Bullshit.
gonna just keep...
I think it's a
yeah,
bullshit.
Bullshit. That's your final answer?
Yeah.
Final answer.
Correct.
Oh.
There is
You just made
silkworms
up some-
don't have spice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made that. I just made that up.
Man.
Yeah, I made that completely up.
Right.
All right.
What is
Guys, we know your
Taffeta?
silkworms.
Taffeta is like it's like a silkworm. It's like
Did you
the
look up silkworms and find like a weird name?
I don't know how this leapt into my
Natalie's
conscious.
worried. She's like, is this a thing that you know?
This bullshit game has to have silkworms in it.
Well, I thought I figured that would be a theme that is.
Yeah.
You could see that as a board game.
Silkworm,
Yeah. Well, there is a game about worms.
but not silkworms.
If wishes were fishes.
Wiggly wink.
No, it just came out.
Yes,
this
Silk
past
Road,
Gen Con.
Spice of the
Yeah.
Silk Road
No.
worm.
That would have got me.
Either way. Okay, good job. So you guys you have
2 to
2.
1, yeah.
So it's 2 to 1.
boy.
All right, number 3, team the best team, Pax Pacifica.
That's real. Oh no, wait.
There are a lot of PAX games. There's PAX Furiana, there's PAX.
That's real. Wait.
So there are
Walked in too late.
Yeah, she
so there are a
walked
lot
in
of
and answered
PAX
all right.
games, but I don't know them all.
Oh, I didn't know that.
PAX Porfiriana is probably the one that was in your brain where you were like, that's
I was
it.
like PAX. I know there's a game that starts with PAX and it has a
Yeah,
P.
there's a few.
Pax
Maybe they're the
Pacifica.
same.
PAX Pacifica.
Pacifica is the van that Ryan drives, so we need to remember that.
True.
So did Ryan think of the van that he drove? So I'm gonna bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit.
Bullshit.
Son of a yes. Correct. It's bullshit.
Like Debunked it.
Oh! Now, that is unfortunate because that's information you guys wouldn't have had if you had Pax Pacifica as yours. Luckily, that went this way. Wow!
Jeff's the one who even said that.
Yeah, I was like, I got him here. I got him. Because he's right. There's a ton of... There's one called Pax Pamir.
Yeah.
Which is close to... Well, it's not close to Pacifica.
Still.
Damn, good job. Okay, number 4.
Furiana.
Number 4.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited. Number 4, Team Baskin. Carcassonne, the Ladder Cart expansion.
Ladder cart?
Ladder Cart.
Like as in ladder?
Yes.
You crawl up a ladder?
LADDERKART.
Oh, like
Oh,
Mario.
there's a lot of Carcassonne expansions.
Is Carcassonne, the Ladder Cart expansion, one of them?
I feel like that sounds real. But then again, you could be like the wagon wheel expansion. Like, I don't know.
I'm going to say
whatever.
board game. I'm going to say that
Okay,
is a real expansion.
It's real. Board game.
All right, you're wrong. It is bullshit.
ladder cart.
It's wagon wheel.
Made that up. Yep, I just made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Johnson rod. Got to change the Johnson rod.
There's, 50 Carcassonne?
Yeah, there's
Lots.
1,000 Carcassonne
That's
expansions.
mean.
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, this game is essentially like 50-50
Yes.
chance you get it right.
Yeah, but it's fun. I don't think so. Jeff used some sound logic and Ben did on the last one too. Silkworms do not have spices. That was the tell. Jeff's. I didn't honestly
Now
even
know
realize
how we make
Pacifica was what leaked into my brain there, but that's what it was.
It's your
Ladder
car.
cart. Come on, what the hell's a ladder cart? I couldn't even get that.
I googled it after I wrote it. I was like, "Is that a thing?" And I googled it, and it's not really. But it sounds German, doesn't it? It sounds like a German thing,
Yeah.
like a
No, it
rickshaw.
sounds like
I
one of
don't
those
know.
classic. Yeah.
You roll it up and climb it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a ladder that's like on wheels.
I don't know.
The cart that holds the
Give me a
ladder.
break.
Yeah,
trying
it's
to
the
make
rickshaw that holds all the ladders. All right, Jeff and Natalie, number 4, milestones. Milestones. It's all one word, by the way. Milestones.
Milestones. About Miles Davis.
I feel like if you made it up, it would be like goofier or weirder.
Or would it?
Well, he's got a... Does Ryan have anything to do with miles or stones?
Damn it, Jeff's like peering into my
Trying
brain
to-
here.
What?
Milestone. You want to go with yes? You think
He's like his favorite color was green, so he must have picked. Like,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like he's
She's right, though.
he's a Gemini, so let me try to figure this out.
I'm a Virgo.
What do you want to go with?
Let's go with game.
All right, we're going with game. Milestones, the game.
Milestones is, in fact, a board game.
Whoa. I don't...
Correct.
Didn't they talk about this on the Secret Cabal a lot way back in the day?
Maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe. That
it's
could
a
be where
stronghold
that
game.
how that
Didn't
came
your
into my
brain
head.
know?
Well, if it's a stronghold game, of course Secret Cabal talks about it.
All right, here we go. Number 5. Number 5. You need this to stay alive, you guys. Right, because it's 3-2?
Yeah.
All right, number 5.
3-2.
Yeah, they're up 3-2 on you.
You got this.
You got nice egg and the spice of the silkworm correct.
Nice.
You missed Dungeon Raiders and the Ladder Card expansion. Can you get number 5? Number 5 for the tie. Keep that tiebreak hope alive. Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
How could this not be one?
like no one said the board game has to be good. It could be.
Mamma mia. Maybe
Like-
you're like making spaghetti. Maybe this isn't a board game though.
It's just a shitty movie.
Like who calls a board game Mamma Mia? I need your help on this.
It is.
Say it.
Say it. What you like gonna?
Bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit.
Bullshit. 1 second, please.
I was gonna say
Oh no!
By one of your favorite designers, Uwe Rosenberg.
Oh, are you serious?
Mamma Mia. Yep, designed in 1998. It was around the time that he did Bonanza. Damn it, we're not
it is
going to
about
get
pizza.
We're not going to get the tie break. Okay, Jeff and Natalie, if you
Okay,
get this
can I
wrong,
see it?
minus 1 point.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, there's Mamma Mia. It's about pizza. It's a card game about pizza. You're like,
Seriously, he named it Mamma Mia.
yeah,
Look, can you see it?
I know.
Okay. Oh gosh, that's. Ugh, look at it.
We haven't played it yet,
fun?
but apparently it's super fun.
When you said that, I was like, why do you think a game that we have don't like? What if we got that?
Yeah, that was lucky. I would have taken it off. You know what I mean? Like I had a
Yeah.
bunch of games
That
that I
was
put on it.
lucky. Yeah. Too bad we just didn't have that one.
Darn it. Of course, that was a board game. They're the worst.
You idiot.
All right,
I
if
just thought of, like,
they miss this one, -1 point. We're doing the tiebreak.
All right.
-1 point.
Here we go. Team the best team. Living up to your name. Number 5, treacherous top hats.
Top hats.
Treacherous top hats.
Treacherous top hat?
What would that mean? You put on top
ridiculous.
hats and they attack you, or like
Watch out.
dangerous top hats? People make weird games.
There's no way. This is a
Treacherous
game.
top hats.
I like
Ryan
your
likes
conviction
hats.
here.
What do you think?
I don't know how to spell treacherous to look for this on
TreacheroUS.
Keep in mind, he spelled ladder cart too, and that wasn't a game, so.
Keep that in mind.
But no one asked. Oh, I did ask spell it.
I just do what I'm told.
K-A-R-T.
I just do what I'm told.
Treacherous top hats.
Or you could pronounce it
it could be silly
toe-fats,
enough
I
just to
guess.
be a game.
I know.
Nice egg is a game.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think?
I think
Here's
it's
some thinking
not,
music.
But you're making me second guess it.
Well, let's go with you.
Here's some Mamma Mia music to help
Yep.
you
Yeah,
this
okay,
out.
good. Thank you.
I like it.
Let's
I like
go with you. You were right. Your gut has been good.
BS.
Wrong. It is, in fact, you're right. It's bullshit.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. I guess we're not going to do the
just do
time
it.
break.
All right, well, just do it.
Well, because I don't think you're going to want to is the thing.
There
But
is
you
a
would have
game
had
called
to
Top
do
Hats
it.
and Treachery.
Oh.
What'd you say?
There's a game called Top Hats and Treachery, but not treacherous top hats.
I didn't know that. What? How did that happen?
In the table.
Weird.
Okay, well, let's say that's the same game. You guys are wrong.
Yeah, we
it's a
got it
board
wrong.
game.
Okay.
All right, tiebreaker.
2-2.
All right. I don't know if you're going to like the tiebreak so much in a second, though, you guys.
Wait, all of us or them?
Tell us your secret.
No, all 4 of you are not going to enjoy this, but I want you to do it so bad. Okay, to break the tie, which we don't have, we're going to have a sing-off. Team Baskin will sing Total Eclipse of the Heart, and Team the Best Team will sing Wannabe by the Spice Girls. If you decide not to do it, you lose instantly, so it takes a little bit of the sting out of it now.
How much
Both of you must contribute by alternating lyrics. You can look up the lyrics if you want, and afterwards we'll let the people decide who wins, which I will announce next episode. But we didn't tie. But that was going to be it, and you were going to have to do it for glory.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
Give us, like, some time to practice. And then we can
That's a
next
pretty
time.
funny time.
And then next time. And the next.
It would have been great.
And we're
Moving on.
busy.
It would have been great.
We'll have, if that's our song, we'll work on it.
It is.
I feel
Total
like
Eclipse
you
of the
gave us
Heart.
a much easier song. Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Now tonight.
That's a hard song to
And I
sing.
need you more than ever.
I would want to think.
I don't think it's as hard. Did you hear that? That was beautiful.
Well, we have been practicing, but I
Yeah. Did they know what the tiebreaker was?
you have to do that.
Once upon a time.
Come on, Emily.
I don't know the words.
Nothing I can say.
I think they win.
I did.
Yeah, it's over. You guys
Get like
won.
an extra 3 points for that.
Yeah.
You don't want to do? You don't want to try Wannabe?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I
don't
really,
know the
really
words,
want.
So tell me what you want. What you really, really want.
I wanna really, really, really want a zig a zig.
If you want my future,
Wannabe.
forget my past. If you wanna get with me, stick it in my.
All right, sorry.
Oh, and there goes Dice Tower
We're not getting out of the
again.
Dice Tower with stuff
Goodbye,
like
Dice
this.
Tower.
You guys,
Really lost
I have a
Dice
problem.
Tower.
I cannot sing songs without
Yes.
making them dirty. I just
Okay,
can't do
so
it.
one example is A Whole New World from Aladdin. What does he say? He says,
Don't you dare close your thighs.
no, he's like, I
Hold your breath. It gets wetter.
That's not the
She's
part
like,
she was thinking
no,
of.
not that.
it is with thighs.
The other dirty part.
I know. I think it's I can open your thighs.
I can open your thighs, show you my giant wonder, right? As my face goes down under.
Oh my god!
I can't. I know.
Thought this whole thing out.
No, that was off the brain.
I know that. I've
Then
never
you
heard
can
that.
say on a magic carpet ride.
Oh.
Oh,
So it works.
Oh man, it's getting.
It works. Dice Tower's not. This is not Dice Tower.
Yeah, we don't
approved.
need them.
We're starting our own.
Are we gonna need a disclaimer again?
The whole. You screw it. People are listening this
didn't
far.
say
They're
that
gonna like it.
word, so.
Okay, so that was awesome. Congratulations to Team the Best Team
gosh.
for claiming victory there.
Nice job.
Yeah, well.
However, I do think the sing off definitely went
Yep.
to
They would have won the
100%.
tiebreaker.
Team
for
Carol
sure.
Baskin. So
100%.
they killed that. So you guys, that is going to
Jeff
bring
didn't even know
us.
the words to my song.
Well, I said you could look up the lyrics.
Yeah.
So if it was real, you would have looked the lyrics up, and that would have been funnier. Even if he didn't know the song and was like not singing it right, that would have been
I
hilarious.
thought you liked pop music.
I
from
do.
The 90s.
Yeah, but that's
hard.
old.
It's under pressure.
Yeah.
I could sing a good NSYNC or Backstreet Boys song.
Oh, yeah.
That in
What's
there,
the one you
yeah.
guys do at weddings all the time?
Oh man, we do Bye Bye Bye.
Bye, bye, bye. That
Yeah.
would have been good. Although that would have been...
I've been cheating.
That'd have been cheating. Okay, so that's going to
Nice
bring
egg.
us to our top 5 of the episode. Since Ben and Em are on the show, we thought we'd do something that correlated to dates somehow, date fruits, as they're the date night dicers. So for today's list, we're going to do top 5 games to play on a first date, and why.
I forget what I even wrote.
So we're going to go Emily, Natalie, Jeff, Ben, me. Did you guys get that?
Natalie,
Got it.
Jeff.
Emily, Natalie,
Yeah.
Jeff, Ben, him.
Yeah, what?
I wrote in my script here, say this as fast as you possibly can.
You give yourself like little cues.
Yeah. So Emily, do you have your top 5 lists?
I do. We're doing one at a time, right?
Yeah, we're going to
Yeah,
start with
start
number
with
5.
five.
We're going to start with 5 and go
Okay.
back to 1. So what is your number 5 game to play on a first date and why?
Okay. Don't look.
Don't look at my
Don't
list.
look.
I got the tiniest paper.
We have tiny paper. It's been like roaming around
You
the
guys
house.
have like
I feel
notebooks of information. We have these.
This is like my
the
game
littlest- This is
I have mine on a Google Doc.
Yeah.
Like, these are like multiple pages. My number 5 was an unlock, just because I feel like you're solving a puzzle together.
Sure.
And on a first date, that would be a fun thing to do.
Which unlock?
I don't have a.
Yeah. What's your favorite unlock?
What's
Do
your
you know?
favorite one? You've played all of them.
Gosh.
And would you, Emily, would you play an unlock with a first date that you've already done, not telling him you've already done it, just
Make
so
you
you
look like
can
a
win it and
genius?
make you look amazing?
Ooh.
No, that'd be boring. We don't have our old
I
unlocks,
like how you're
so
looking
I
at
can't.
the games.
Yeah, I was trying to look
We've
for.
given every single one
we
of
gave
them
the
away.
unlocks away.
As
so
you're
now I'm just-
searching the shelves
Yeah.
for no unlocks that we.
I did just
don't
play
know,
the
I
Wizard of
really-
Oz one. I really like that one.
Yes,
That was cool.
That's
that
what I was
was
gonna
good?
say.
yeah, that was it was
The
very
Wizard of Oz
different.
one was fun.
I think you need 4 people for that one though.
Oh shoot. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Well, a lot
played
of
with
times,
two.
I'd be
first
happy
dates
with.
are group dates a lot sometimes,
Yeah.
so that could
Double
be.
date.
Natalie, what is
Yeah,
your number
sure.
5?
Hopefully this isn't on Jeff's. My number 5
not.
is Chronicles of Crime.
Oh,
I promise you, none of
And
yours
why?
is on my list. Maybe
really?
Ryan's if you went weird like I did.
I went weird. Well,
Kind of like a similar thing as Emily. I figured you could see how well you work together to solve a crime, and
Yeah.
crime solving is like in these days. So thought that'd be like a fun, cool date
in.
night.
yeah, crime solving is in.
CIS.
20 years ago, crime solving, nobody wanted to do any part of it. There was no police
Get it outta
officers.
here.
I've just seen like crime stuff lately.
Murder
It's
was
just
way
like,
up.
I feel
Yeah.
like like Natalie said, a first date. If you have no idea if you guys have something in common, it's like, can we solve the puzzles together?
Oh, good
Right.
call.
Yes.
Because if it's someone who's saying like, let's be serious, really stupid stuff, right away I'm gonna go, that's
Maybe
a no.
this is not.
reveal
Yeah.
a
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
not working.
Maybe the washboard abs aren't worth it. Jeff,
Wow, you're
what
really
is your
dumb.
number 5?
Okay. Well, I did a thing.
Here we go.
So-
Preamble time.
I made a top 5 list of games if you wanted to accelerate the evening.
Oh, get laid.
If you want,
Listening.
yeah.
Man.
If you wanted to take
You
a,
know what that
if
means.
you wanted to take a first date a little further.
If you wanted to advance the date, like
Fountain
if you wanted to get
hour.
to
Yeah.
date 3
yeah,
on date
just-
1.
Yeah, if you wanted to speed that date up,
What
this
are
is
you
a
gonna
terrible
say?
list.
I don't know. I can't wait to hear this.
My number 5 is
Strip poker?
yeah.
Oh man, that's a good one.
What do you
Number 5 is
think? On a first date?
Yeah.
What do you think about this game?
Sorry, I'm
It's
sorry.
like poker, except you take your clothes off. You go first. All right, Jeff, what's number 5?
Okay, my number 5 is a game called Animal Upon Animal. Because nothing says a first date like sexually stacking animals on top of each other.
Oh my god, that's great.
That is a fun game, though.
That's a
It
great
is.
game.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah, that's
fantastic
a
game.
That's actually a really good choice.
And it's easy enough for
I love
someone
that.
who may or may not be into
Yeah,
games.
boom, there it is.
Yeah.
And then you're just giving them some ideas.
And then
Yeah,
it
you're
only
just-
takes
yeah, you're-
like 5 minutes. So they get
Subliminal messaging is
you're
you.
like, what about this
Right.
position? Do you
Yeah.
think
The animals just so.
I know you
That-
put it this way, but what if they
What
were
if we
this?
did
What
this
if?
way?
And what if you just went back and forth and back and forth? How long do you think it would take until it's over? Okay, Ben, what is your number 5, sir?
I feel like I took this too seriously. Though. So I had criteria.
Okay.
It has to either be easy and fast to explain,
Yep.
Yep.
or
You're
it
like-
has to be like something they know already, something mainstream.
Yep.
Or it has to be co-op so that you're not going against each other.
All good stuff.
So my number 5 is in the easy and fast to explain. I picked Santorini.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Good one.
Perfect game.
Yeah.
It looks cool on the table. It's easy to explain, and it's really easy to play. And even if you lose, you build like this little town, and
And
it's
you just like, you can do it again right away.
yeah,
You're
let's
like,
go
oh.
again. Let's go again. You don't
And then
have
you're
to use
like, do you
powers.
want to go on
That's true.
vacation here? Boop, 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 boop.
Yeah.
You wanna go to Santorini because it's a pretty cool place.
One
That's
day.
beautiful. So my number 5 is a game that I believe everybody. I think I know we all like this game. It's called Everdell, and so you knock her out by showing her how adorable games can be. Then you knock her out in the game to show her how cruel life really is, and then she'll want to spend more time in the game because it's more adorable, which is just a win for you. So that's my number 5, Everdell.
That's
Cute.
a good one.
Nice.
Good choice.
All right,
Everyone's like cute, and I'm like, what the hell?
all right, Emily. It's gonna get worse from here on out, you guys. All right, Emily, what is your number 4?
All right, number 4 is Onitama. Just because it's quick and easy, and you can play a bunch of games.
It's kind of like
That's like
chess,
that's
right?
like the Santorini.
It's like a little, yeah.
Great game. That's a
Once
great
again,
game.
it's like you grab a drink, you sit down, you can just play a bunch of games.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, you can play that game over and over again. And
Yeah.
that's one of those games where it's like, how the hell didn't I design this game? It's like the simplest thing in the world. Ugh, it's annoying.
Right.
All right, Natalie, what was your number 4?
My number 4 is Love Letter. Because I think the rules are really easy. It's like competitive, but in like a more fun way. And I don't know, it reminds me of you and me in our early years.
We love that
We
game.
like played the crap out of that game, and
We did.
thought it felt like dating.
It didn't
when we
advance
did
the
it.
dates like Jeff's list, but it was definitely quick and easy like Ben's.
But it worked in the end.
It sure did. It sure did. All right, Jeff, what is your number 4?
My number 4 says it all in the title. Is a game called Attraction.
Oh,
Nice.
Because the game is called Attraction. Putting some message in there, you connect the magnets. You throw the magnets around.
And whichever one's
Yep.
stack is the look
Whichever
how
one
big
have
my
a big
stack is,
stack,
baby.
you win.
Have you guys played Attraction or Hearts of Attraction? It's literally all it is a bunch of magnets. It's just a bunch of magnets.
It's really fun.
Your kids would love it. It's just like there's like 25
Yeah,
magnets,
25
and on
magnets.
your turn, you put all the magnets on the table,
Spread
and
out.
yeah, you spread them out, and then each person has a magnet. On your turn, you throw your magnet and try to stick it to other magnets. However many get stuck, you take it. That's yours. And then when it comes around to your turn again, you take one magnet off. You throw again. At the end, when all the magnets are gone, you put your stack in the middle. Whoever has the tallest stack is the winner. It is so
So easy, but it's really
What
That
an
fun.
sounds
easy
fun.
game.
it's so
Awesome. Fun.
easy and fun.
It falls in that category of like, how did I not?
Yeah, like what
Yeah.
the
Think of
hell,
this.
I mean,
man?
everyone loves playing with magnets.
I played it with
too.
Richard
Yeah.
Lanius actually
Oh, yeah.
at
Oh my
Yep.
god.
Grand
How did that date go?
1 year. It's beautiful.
Did that
Did he tell
date
you to put that on
escalate?
your
or
We're
Yeah.
something?
still
Like-
together, actually. Ben, what about you, man? What is number 4?
Number 4 for me is a combo. I wrote down Patchwork or Patchwork Doodle. Because I think Patchwork has simpler rules, but Patchwork Doodle is kind of fun because you could whip out the crayons or markers and draw the little shapes on your
That's
thing.
a good one.
Yes, that can
And
be
super
fun.
easy
Yeah,
too.
that is
I-
If
fun.
you don't like play games.
I
a
couldn't
lot.
resist a polyomino game on the list. I just couldn't help it.
Understood.
Honestly, I like Spring Meadow because it's so relaxed. It's very simple.
You like it because you win. And that's the only
true.
reason.
Patchwork's a good one too. Like it seems like a kind of a girlier theme, so that can make
let's
a
draw
girl
these
get
little
more
quick
into it.
quilt
Yeah.
patterns on the board.
I think that's a game. If you don't know anything about games and you're on a first date, you'd be like, "There's a game about making a quilt."
Right. It doesn't seem as like intimidating when it has that theme for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
Exactly.
That's a great one.
Okay,
Okay,
you scored -10.
yeah, right at the end. Exactly. Well, that's my Everdell thing. Then you show this
Yeah.
is real life, baby. All right, number 4. My number 4 is a game. This might be a little surprising. It's called The Gallerist.
The Gallerist.
All right, so
hold
here's
on
No
here we
way.
are. You ready for the explanation? There's an and why. You ask her if she'd like to go check out some art at a museum. She'll think you're incredibly cultured, and then bam, all of a sudden you roll up to your house and she's like, "Oh my god, this guy has an art museum in his house." You go down to the basement and now she's getting a little nervous. And bam, you present her with the Gallerist, and she's so relieved you're not a psychopath, she forgets about the actual museum, and then you have a fun story to tell to the grandkids.
And then she's passed out drunk before you even finish the rules because it took
Yeah.
an hour.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, at that point, it's not about the game, you know. You just now she's in your basement, and it's like, hey, and she's like, how did
Play?
you do
Let's just
this
go to the couch.
No, we got done with the rules and we don't want to play anymore.
man.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Looks cool,
This
doesn't it?
only works
You're
if
tired?
you have the little stands for the painting.
Yep. Those are amazing.
It's like a.
It's an easel. An easel.
Yeah, a little easel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you put the little arting on it. Yeah, you have them all set up, maybe with some candles before she gets down
But
there.
like, okay, if it was a first date and someone's like,
We're
"I'm down
playing-
in my basement,"
Yeah.
and then they have little easels on the table, I'll be like,
No.
I'm about to be murdered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but listen here. It's kind of like what you said, Emily, about like when you're playing like a cooperative game, if they're stupid or if they're just arguing with you, you know, if they come down and they see that and they're like, okay, you got a winner on your hands right there.
Right, that's true.
That's a
true.
good
If
test to
they're-
know. Is this going to
Yeah,
work
if they
out?
find it stupid, then it's like, get out of here.
Yeah.
And if not, the police
Yeah.
will get called on you, and it's not a deal.
Yeah, like, whatever, then you just...
All right. With that, Emily, what is your number 3?
Okay. Number 3 is Wingspan. Because
Nice.
it's a great game,
Yes.
but also because I love animals, and someone has to deal with me telling nonstop bird facts. 24/7.
Best part about the game.
And if someone legit does not want to read the bird fact, I don't want to. That person needs to leave because that is the best part of the game.
I agree.
Learning
I do the
bird
same.
facts
I
right
read
there.
them. I think it's
Yeah.
fun.
Well, so there you go. So again, there's a
It's a
we're not
test.
going to get along. You don't want to hear my bird
it's a
facts?
test.
You're not right for
You
me,
don't
bro.
want to hear me talk about all my birds I know?
You are not right for me. Natalie, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is Magic Maze. Kind of like what Ben said, it's a cooperative game, which I think is good for your first date games. And, you know, you could work together, but
Could.
things also could go bad because you could be like,
Yeah, you got that.
you're not connecting,
that
you know?
pawn-
You
what's
got
that?
because you can't talk, so you're not like connecting, and then you can be like, this isn't gonna work. You're not feeling my vibe here.
Well, also, it could be you could know if someone's a jerk if they're getting too angry that you're not
Yeah,
doing what you're
they're
supposed
too
to do in that
competitive.
game. What's that? The passive aggressive pawn.
Yeah, the passive aggressive pawn. They're like
Yeah.
chucking at your face, and you're like,
stacking
get out.
at you like, whoa.
No second date.
This is more like the first date beatdown we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, let's hear number 3.
Okay. My number 3, you go back, turn some nice background music on, some saxophone music, and you play
Some
Keeping
Bye
It
Bye Bye.
Saxy.
Okay. Yeah, keeping it sexy.
The game with Kenny G on the cover. And you just have a
got that,
theme
like,
to the
sassy
evening.
music.
Yeah. That's what I got.
That's a game where you have to maintain his vibe. Isn't that the
Yeah.
whole point of the game?
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
got to like
really?
be cool.
Yeah, you gotta be cool.
gotta
Yeah, you got to keep it.
You gotta
gotta
keep it
keep it
sexy.
You're not
sexy.
cool, you out.
That's like, once again, testing out someone's like humor and
Yeah.
everything. Because
Yeah.
if someone is like, this is stupid, right away I go, you need to leave.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Well,
Yeah.
now you know
Yeah.
that if you play a game on a first date, you're being judged harshly.
Warning to everyone. This is a one-time thing. So.
Oh my God, that's true. All right, good one. Ben, what is your number 3?
Number 3 for me is King Domino.
All right.
With or without any expansions. Probably not Queen Domino. There's a little too much going on.
Man, I agree. King Domino.
King Domino, the 2-player version where you play 7x7.
That's a good one.
Board. I think because dominoes just got to match colors. You just got to match one color.
Right,
It's super
simple.
easy to explain. You could talk while you're playing it. You could play a couple times.
All your girls seem really dumb.
Yeah, but hold on, they're really pretty.
Have you met a girl?
It's like
Don't look at my list.
It's like easy games where you're like, Patchwork,
It's the
can
first
you handle
date.
this?
I'm not going to play Lisboa.
Maybe the Gallerist, but for ulterior motives.
I'm sorry. On Mars.
Oh my God, you guys got to play on Mars.
I get it, because most a girl that you go on a first
No,
date with,
I
unless
agree.
she's a gamer, you probably expect she's not into games. You
Well,
gotta
yeah,
like,
you're not
Unless
going to be
you
like,
met at
have
Gen
you
Con.
played
Yeah,
grass? And you like whip it.
You saying you whip it out?
I just want to tickle her with the idea that there's board games she's never
There's
played.
more if
Yep.
you
We're
like
whipping
what
it out
you
and we're
see.
tickling her.
Yeah.
We're
Poor
not,
Ben
we're not
can't
going to
even
look
get
at the
his
we're
wife
not gonna
to play
I'm not gonna
Lisboa.
show her my collection. I'm just going to pull a game out of my pocket and be like, hey, you know what? Maybe let's just play this.
Yeah, if Lisboa won't work when you've been married for 8 years, then it's not going to work for the first date. All right, number 3 for me is a little game called Suburbia. So you want to drill into her head the idea of settling down and starting a family with you because you're desperate and never going to find love. So you play the long game of planting seeds in her mind of living in the burbs with Suburbia. Pretty soon, she forgets this is a first date and now you live together. Boom.
Now you lift
It worked.
Like all the power
It works.
plants,
Yep. Exactly.
Like brainwasher.
all the
Yeah.
sports.
This is the game where you go, it's just like Sim City. And she's like, what's Sim City?
Yep. And then you both, and then you
you're like,
laugh.
you gotta go.
And then you go, what? And she goes, what? And then it's over.
And then you go, you gotta leave.
Okay. Emily, let's hear number 2.
Number
you.
2. Number 2, I said Dinosaur Island.
Okay.
Because that, once again, is checking if someone is fun. If you play the Jurassic Park, music, the theme song, and someone isn't like, oh man, this is amazing. If someone is honestly not loving that,
Yeah.
you need to leave.
Yeah.
So,
You gotta go.
once again, how fun are you?
Yeah.
Do you like
Everything's
dinosaurs?
a test. So,
Show up dressed like Dr. Grant.
if I come out, in the outfit, the high cut, khaki shorts and everything, and they don't recognize it with the theme music, we have a problem.
Wait, hold on. Is that what you would do?
Sure.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
I think when we first played Dinosaur Island, the first 3 times we all dressed up. And
You
it
did?
was the best. Yeah, we
The-
had the whole. You had the little handkerchief.
Yeah,
Like,
Ken was the, what's his name? The guy who's Newman.
it was Newman essentially. What is
He
his
had
name?
the, Hawaiian shirt.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was. You were Dr. Grant. I had the pink shirt buttoned up with the, it was. Yeah, you have to have the theme going on.
That's awesome. That is super cool. All right. Well, Natalie, top that with number 2.
Number 2 is Crokinole.
Damn it.
What?
Nothing. Keep going. No, I know.
Man, these
Go
are
ahead.
great choices.
Go ahead.
I just figured this was really easy, rules, fun, light, and you're trying to get it in the hole.
You have that? I have that. That's my number 2. I'm changing it. I have
I said
other
you're
things.
shooting a disc at a hole. What's more suggestive than that?
I had Crokinole as number 2 also. And I said you could also do, I'm going to replace it, but you could also pretend like you were going around like, let me show you how to flick the disc.
Oh, like,
You could be like,
You're teaching her how to putt.
You know, like, watch, it's all in the finger strength. You don't want to push it. You want to
it.
flick it.
But don't spring load all the time. 'cause
So
that's
I'm
just gonna hurt
changing,
you.
now I'm changing my number 2. So my number 2 has been replaced now.
Sorry.
Crap. That's number 1.
This is for the people out there who have seen the show Freaks and Geeks.
Yep. Great show.
The show Freaks and Geeks has a scene in
I know what it is.
where
Oh, yeah.
the mom and dad of the show are playing a game called Pit.
You guys ever played
And
Pit?
This show
Pit
so
is a
great.
hilarious game that does not play 2 people.
You need to play it. It's fantastic.
And while they're playing Pit, they're like, you want to keep playing the game? And she's like, this game is terrible with 2. And then he goes, well, you want to have a little sex? And she goes, okay. And then they go, and then they leave. So that's my replacement game for number 2 is Pit.
That works.
I brought up this game, Pit. Oh, is it good with 2 players?
No.
No. Oh. You want to have a little sex?
Well, okay.
You guys need to play Pit. It is so fun. It is
Yeah,
so
you'd like
fun.
This would be a good cottage game
It's
for
a
you
very
guys.
yes. It's a good cottage game, and it's very shouty.
Yeah, it's a lot of yelling.
A lot of yelling, like this. 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2.
1. Yeah, it's so good. And nobody knows the rules, and it's just hilarious.
Yeah. What's your number 2? babe?
No, it's not. We're gonna go to Ben first.
Oh yeah.
actually.
Sorry, Ben.
My number 2 is Chronicles of Crime.
Oh.
Because crime is pretty popular.
Natalie's.
Yep.
Like, I'm
Oh, but it's fun. I was like, like everybody likes CSI and that kind of stuff. You get
And
to
all those,
feel
like,
you're
murder
in the
shows.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and it's just
I
like
agree.
you don't even have to explain the rules. It's like we're just gonna wave this phone over the board and solve a mystery.
Yeah.
Even that part of it's like looks cool. Like check out this game where you have this app and stuff.
The only problem with
Yeah.
that is I feel like if you plan on playing games with her more often, I feel like you
Or
just
him.
or him. I feel like you have just like kind of like shot your shot there, because when they see a game, wow, I get to like use an app and look into these goggles, and then
Yeah.
every other game in existence doesn't do that. Are they just going to be like,
I don't know.
Right.
well, geez.
If I made a real list, that would have been on there.
Okay. My number 2. I've done extensive research on women in my 37 years, and one mostly universal truth has been that they enjoy chocolate. They don't like chocolate. They love it. Would you agree with that?
would
I don't know how you feel about chocolate, Emily.
I love chocolate too.
But so you bust out Chocolatiers, and you hear there are games about chocolate, and buddy, you just earned 500 chocolate points, which is the equivalent of 7 more dates. So my number 2 is Chocolatiers.
Nice. That's a good one.
Emily, let's hear it. We have arrived
one.
at number 1.
Okay. Number 1 is once again checking if they're fun. I did Arcadia Quest or Starcadia Quest or whatever. Because it's like fun. It's like a video game. But also, if you like them, you can be like, well, it's a campaign. So we got like...
Let's keep it going.
Right? We can keep going with the game. So
That's good.
Next time we'll do mission
Next
2.
time. Yeah, exactly. You get to keep going on. Like,
Then
so.
missionary. If you're- Hey, 911. First, sign this restraining order. Natalie, let's hear your number 1. That was a good one, Emily.
My number 1 is The Mind. I partially was going to put this as number 1 because, I feel like you can tell if you guys have a connection, just by, like, looking at each other. But then I found this Reddit post, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Can you play The Mind with 2 players?
Listen, I looked it up.
You have to play 12 rounds.
Oh, okay.
On Reddit, it says, The Mind at 2 players. Looking forward to playing The Mind when it comes out. Was wondering if anyone knows how well it works with 2 and
Perfect.
how it affects difficulty. And then this person says, with 2 players, sexiest game I've ever played. One of the sexiest things I've ever done. 20 minutes of staring into someone else's eyes in almost complete silence. Good lord. It plays awesome with 2, but be aware, you might want to bang them afterwards.
What happened?
Yeah!
I was like, damn, okay, that has to be number 1.
That's fantastic.
Great.
Wow. All right. Crocodile. Damn.
Do you have a
That's
replacement?
amazing. No, I don't got anything. All right, Jeff, what is your number 1, my friend?
Man, that was... I can't follow
Yeah, how do
that.
you top that?
My number 1 is
Yeah.
bananagrams because it comes in a banana.
Good night, everybody.
Because if you want to play a game,
And if you have
but I know
seen...
they're like, oh gosh, like, are you?
Yeah.
If you know what a banana shape
There's a lot more like this if you go on the dance with me. If you have seen Bored with... Have you guys seen the web series Bored with Life?
No.
Check the webs.
really
Check that out. Bored with Life, BOARD, obviously. At the end of a lot of their episodes, they do like outtake kind of things, and one of them they do a bananagrams
That would make me think of it.
skit, and it is the funniest thing you'll ever see. So yeah, Bored with Life. Check that YouTube series out.
Give
Okay.
you a list of things to like watch.
Yeah, I
and
know.
do.
There's a lot of stuff you have
Some
to do.
homework.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, Ben, your number 1, my friend.
My number 1 first date game is a game I like. Emily's laughing already. It's not
Doesn't
that
even know what
funny.
it is.
It's a good choice. Come on. No. So everybody knows Scrabble.
Yep.
Let's even make it more fun and play Quirkle.
Quirkle.
Okay.
Like Quirkle?
Quirkle. You ever played
Quirkle.
Quirkle?
Yeah, absolutely. I play Quirkle.
Like
I love playing Quirkle. And then you get to, when you get 6 in a row, you go, Quirkle. I just got 12 points.
So you just want to hear your date go Quirkle.
Which also kind of sounds a little suggestive.
And then
me,
you're
Quirkle?
like, oh my God, I love you.
But
Yeah.
that is, if you don't know somebody, you're on a first date, and you're like, what do we need something to do while we talk? Let's play Quirkle.
Quirkle.
Yeah. Quirkle.
Let's jiggle this big old white bag.
No, that is a good game.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that Grandma and Grandpa gave that to like our 3-year-old, and they're like, we wanted a game she could play, and we were like, yeah, she's not gonna understand this.
But I'm gonna play Quirkle.
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah,
we play
Quirkle.
It,
Quirkle.
Hell yeah.
Quirkle's good. Did Quirkle win the Spiel?
I think it did.
I think it did too.
I think it did
Like
too.
20 years ago.
Yeah, like a bunch of years ago. A woman designed Quirkle.
Yes.
It's a female
yeah?
designed game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You can tell that to your date.
harder. I mean, it's not hard, but like, there's way more to it than you think when you first start playing it.
Yeah, you can't just Quirkle at the beginning.
Yeah.
Gotta wait a little bit for you Quirkle.
Yeah, you can't Quirkle right away. You got to build up, and then you Quirkle at the end.
Right. Quirkle at the end.
Got it. I got it. I got it. Quirkle.
That's true.
The kids on
that's
the
true.
trampoline. All right, my number 1. This is going to surprise a lot of you. Is Crokinole. Damn it.
You didn't have a backup like
Broken
that?
hole.
No, I honestly did not think. I was just like, you're shooting a disc at a hole. What's more suggestive than that? You need to play it with one eyebrow up and no look the shots to have a chance, though. So
I'm sorry, sweetheart.
that's okay. That's okay. I'm glad if anyone did it, it was you and both of you and everybody. So that was our top 5 games to play on a first date and why. That was fantastic. That went in places I fully expected it to go. Thank you. So that's going to do it for us tonight, everyone. I wanted to give a special thank you to our guests, Ben and Emily, for putting up with us this entire episode across 2 days. It was so much fun. Hopefully you guys can come on again at some point. That would be fantastic.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Yes, you guys can find Ben and Emily. They're on Instagram at Date Night Dice. I'm sure you know that at this point. However, check out that Instagram account. It is fantastic. If you'd like to get a hold of us, you can find us on Instagram at Gamecasters or at Mad Board Gamer. Both of those accounts service the podcast. We also have a Facebook group. Just search Gamecasters and you'll find us there. You can email us at thegamecasterspodcast@gmail.com. We also have an incredibly barren board game geek guild that Natalie has yet to join. It is guild number 3678. If you love the show, we would like it if you consider giving us a rating on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. That allows you to rate us no less than 5, please. All music for the show and every episode of the show was produced by Jeremy Pete. If you enjoyed it and want some of your own for your next project, please email us to discuss. So, for Emily, Ben, Natalie, and Jeff the Mad Board Gamer, I am Ryan, and you have been listening to The Gamecasters. Good night, everybody.